Well, wow. I will admit that last night I'm in the ninth inning. I'm top of the ninth inning. I'm thinking it's all over. And I drifted off.
It's been a good season.
It's been a good run. I drifted off. Woke up to Pete Alonso celebrating. And I glanced at the score, and I'm like, oh, great, we're still behind by 1 run. No, we're up by 1 run.
No, you're up by 1.
And then we score another run. So I literally watched the whole game. Did Diaz pitch the? No, he didn't pitch the ninth.
He pitched what, 7th and 8th, or part of 7th and 8th?
7th and 8th. He came through, and Pete Alonso, who I was complaining about yesterday, finally broke out of his slump at the perfect time.
At the right time. So he's probably going to hopefully ride the momentum wave until the World Series.
I would think this is a good time for him to wake up. So, with that said, I wake up, I watch the bottom of the ninth inning, watch some of the celebration. Then I rewind, and I had to watch the top of the ninth again to see what went down.
What happened?
And once again, Francisco Lindor is the spark that lights everything up. Wow. Now, here's the problem, though. This is the hottest team in baseball, and now I will say this. Here's the positive. The Mets have not been the hot Mets team that they had been like at certain times of this second half of the season. They've had to come back. Like in this, they get down, they have to come back.
They had to come back.
There's only so many times you can come back against really good teams and get away with it. However,
and that Brewers fan base was going crazy. I can't imagine that.
Sometimes I think that when crowds go nuts and especially in baseball,
the other team. Yeah.
You're sitting there and you're listening. It's exciting. I don't care. It's not intimidating, maybe for some, but the reality, if you're a Major League Baseball player, I think it's exciting.
Yeah.
And I think it can inspire.
You almost want to silence them. It's motivation.
Yeah. This is where Mahomes comes out and quiets everybody down. So with that, now on a positive note, first of all, on a real positive note, Bill Morehouse and I have been on the same side for quite some time now, and that's rare.
It is. It's good to see.
But on a positive note, this is what I have to say. This win could very well spark this team, could spark a Pete Alonso, Marte, some of the others on this team. This team has many explosive players,
indeed,
that can go long, that can play offensive, and they have a great defense. So this could be the spark that lights them up because they're going to need 11 wins going forward.
Yeah.
So you have a best of 5, a best of 7, and a best of 7. That's a big ask. There's a long way to go. This just got them into the playoffs. Think about it. The old playoffs, the playoffs of yesteryear, well, the Mets just got in. So we have a long way to go. But this could be the spark. And there's no doubt this is the team that has played the best baseball since June 1st.
Ever since Grimace threw out the first pitch.
That was quite a moment.
So I had a client yesterday. This is funny. It was just kind of ironic that it was the final game of the wild card series for the Mets. They said, the St. Joseph statue, because they're wanting to sell their house, and that we put the St. Joseph statue in the backyard, but I think we need to put a Grimace statue. And I go, what are you, a Mets fan? And she goes, no, I just like McDonald's. I'm like, well, listen, go get yourself a Grimace statue.
Yeah.
Because the Mets are
they need it.
The Mets are eating McDonald's, I'll tell you.
So and here's the other part of this that is possible. And I feel better about the I have something in my eye. I feel better about playing the Phillies than I do about playing the Dodgers or the Padres.
Yeah, eventually you'll have to play them, but
But you got to get through the Phillies first. So I guess what I'm saying is a lot of celebrating. stop celebrating because there's a lot of work.
Long road ahead.
A long road ahead. And it takes a lot to get from here to Game 6 or 7 of the World Series.
I'm quite nervous.
And one more thing.
Sure.
I wouldn't want to be anybody to play. If I'm any team, if I am the Phillies, the Dodgers, or the Padres, I would not want to play the Mets.
I would say even that a lot of experts I heard talking on different sports programs and things said, who are supporting the Brewers or whatever, say, I would rather play no, they said the Brewers would rather, or the Phillies would rather play the Brewers.
Oh, I completely agree.
100%.
Yeah, I agree. So there's a long way to go. But you know what? It is possible that we are on the verge of another Subway Series. It is possible. It has been 14 years. It's possible.
Yeah, and that
Who
wouldn't
thought?
bode well for us since you took 4 of 4 from us this year.
Who would have thought that it would even be possible? I especially if you go back to
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Oh, boy, me.
all right, Davey, what the hell are you doing in there?
What did you hit?
Hopefully that works for the app and it gets us back. I want to hit your mic because I see you want to talk, and I slid by. This is all touch screen, so I slid by the wrong button. I don't know what I was saying, but a long way to go.
It was smart.
A long way to go, and I just want to say that there are so many. There's only so many times you can come back from being down 2-0 in the 9th inning, score and win. There's just It can't keep happening. You got to get ahead. You got to start blowing some teams out. Okay, Davey.
It'd be interesting to see who the Mets throw against Zach Wheeler tomorrow afternoon.
Zach Wheeler, former Met, who has just come back to haunt them over the years.
City Field be rocking on game 3 and 4.
Spectacular pitcher now. Yeah, and he'll be eligible. He'll be able to go 2 games if need be.
Yep.
Even in a 5-game series.
Just like the Yankees with Garrett Cole, he could throw game 1 and then he could throw game 4 again if they needed to.
Okay. Well, anyway, so and then Davey picked the Bucks to go down last
night. The Dirty Birds, the Atlanta Falcons.
The only one to do that. You were the only one to do it. We have a beautiful day on the way today. Sunshine, 75. Going to be a really, really nice day. And the weekend looks nice as well. After that, into next week, things begin to cool off a little bit as we head into the middle of October. Coming up, Willie Waffle will speak to him in a few minutes, and I have and then I'm working on a story last night for our website, and I just fell asleep. But at like 1:30 in the morning, I'm sitting there with my laptop. And I just went to bed. So that's me. This is just too much. This staying up in these games, it's just too much. I need my sleep.
Well, Syracuse plays tonight at 9, so it's another late night. But it's Friday.
But at least it's on a Friday. The New York State Association for Convenience Stores is coming up. It's in opposition to Oneida County Executive Anthony Picenti proposed laws. What laws are these? What is this story?
So about a month ago, Anthony Picenti proposed 2 new pieces of legislation, one that would take aim at illegal pot shops, the other that would impose fees and regular inspections for anybody that sold vape, I believe tobacco, or any sort of smoking paraphernalia. I think it's more geared towards smoking paraphernalia, like a pipe or these bowls. You can go to a gas station and get pipes or bowls, as the kids call them, to smoke marijuana out of or tobacco out of. So that legislation will be presented to the Oneida County Legislature on October 9th. And they are not happy about it. The organization represents nearly 150 Oneida County convenience store owners, 1,600 across the state. So they're coming on this morning. Their president, Allison Ritchie, to share their displeasure with the laws.
We'll speak with them. That'll make Lance and Lee happy, unless we start arguing with them and saying, Paseni's right.
Yes.
Right?
He can do no wrong.
Steve Spurbeck is on ERL
Intermodal,
which is a shipping company, local and down
in Georgia.
In the southern states as well. Really, they ship nationwide. And what's going is the strike looks like it's over, at least for now.
For now.
The word we'd gotten, it's very interesting. We were told it'll probably go about 3 days, and here we are.
Yeah.
But each day has been devastating in the shipping industry, costing millions and millions of dollars every single day.
And this thing's not black and white, right? There's a lot of gray areas here in the sense that the union president is said to be making millions of dollars and has luxury homes and, different, people are saying he's got like yachts and boats and things like that.
All the, any of these national unions, the head, they make a lot of money, and they are very and even as influential.
Even as Steve Spurbeck said, I mean, you can be a dock worker here now at their current salary and do very well for yourself.
I feel like it's time to become a dock worker.
So saying.
These guys make great money, and they can retire and make a ton of money.
And we were talking to Trooper Cox the other day, and he said, I'm 1 year out from the New York State Police. What? You make what to start the first year? And
Yeah. A lot of law enforcement. But you see law enforcement having that. They put their lives on the line. Yeah. But these guys have a sweet deal, and they want a sweeter deal.
Yeah. And they want they want double their salary almost. 80% increase.
They say they held back during COVID. They didn't push. They didn't take a raise. Now it's time for them to make some money. Scott and Kirkville will make his picks for the weekend. Tonight, Syracuse plays UNLV in Vegas. This is going to be a tough game. Syracuse is a 4-point underdog, something like that? 6-point underdog.
Oh, really?
I was trying to find it on a couple of the sites last night. I couldn't find it.
6, and the over-under is 65.5.
Okay.
I talked to Scott yesterday.
Boy, I almost feel like the under would be the way to go in that game. Maybe not. What do I know? Ryan Schmelz a little later on. Representative Gates pedophilia, however you want to say it. Introducing a bill cutting off federal aid to groups helping illegal aliens. The illegals, okay? And why are so many restaurant chains filing for bankruptcy this year? We have somebody coming on to talk about that as well. So a busy Friday morning, much to get to. Willie Waffle on what to watch this weekend, what to stream. They say that WWE, the Vince McMahon.
I watched it.
You did watch it
when we were flying.
What do you think?
It's a very, and I don't really follow.
Is it a one and done, or is it
5 episodes?
5 episodes.
I watched WWE pretty regularly in the 90s when I was like 10 or 8 to 10 years old. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
But to see some of what went on and to kind of it didn't paint him in the best light, I'll tell you that.
Well,
all the while interviewing him, and then all of the interviews with McMahon happened just prior to the big bombshell lawsuit where that
right up
where
to
all the details were released.
Stuff.
Yeah.
So
it was an interesting peek behind the curtain.
When we used to have Don Leibel come on, Don would always talk about how bad it was.
Yeah.
How much there was that went down. I don't think morality is. I said to somebody the other day that I feel like Vince McMahon is a brilliant marketer with zero morality.
It is interesting. And the way the documentary paints him, and it's very interesting, while it does paint him in a bad light, it does show him as what he truly was, and that it was a very successful marketer and businessman who took an industry and just exploded it.
Well, was it his father's prior to that?
It was his father's.
Okay. And look what it was in the 60s and 70s.
It was very regionalized, right?
What it became in the 80s.
And
it's unbelievable.
you talk about the morality thing, like he broke so many molds as far as going against the grain with how the business was quote unquote supposed to be. Right, there was regional wrestling divisions, and probably Davey could talk more about this than I, but there was different regions, and he kind of went in, and he was the first to take all the talent from all the top talent from all those regions, pay them, hire them, and tour the country and promote across the country, and that ruffled some feathers.
I didn't know that these guys had to find their own way to each city.
Well, one of the big things was Hulk Hogan was really instrumental in growing the popularity of the WWE or WWF as it was at that time. Because that was one of the scandals, was that the World Wildlife Federation sued them because stopped using WWF. Okay. But Hulk Hogan was instrumental in that, and ultimately went to this WCW because it was less of a schedule. Yeah. I mean, and more pay.
What are you talking about with WWF?
We aren't talking about, we were talking about actually cereal, breakfast cereal. Yeah. And General Mills, he said GMF.
GMF, yeah.
Okay.
Gluten mass food.
No, it's the McMahon documentary. Have you been listening or no?
I watched the first 2 episodes of it.
Okay. All right.
So he hasn't been listening.
So do you have an opinion in there?
No.
So far away?
Nothing.
You don't like it. Davey found out during this that it's not real.
Wrestling's not real. I knew that from day one.
You did know
from
that.
day one, Bill.
All right. Sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. So
I thought I was very...
He watched it all, Davey. I'm going to catch you up. He watched the whole thing, and he was talking about it, saying that McMahon's not really a nice guy.
No. Creep.
Yeah, creep.
Creep, yeah. Well, that's creep. One word.
He's a creep.
Did they have interviews with John Laurinaitis, his right-hand man that was also involved in the scandal?
Well, they had all sorts of
They
WWE
really didn't get into the sex trafficking scandal.
Because all of the interviewing of McMahon happened right before that happened.
2 weeks before that broke.
Yeah, and he didn't get along with his son Shane.
Okay.
Yeah, they get into that a little bit. Yeah. It's broken up into different sections, so it talks about different eras.
Here's a question.
Of the WWE.
And I don't trust your judgment, but I still will ask you. Here's a question. Will I like this? I have no interest in WWE, WWF, any of that crap.
If you are not a fan of the WWE, which again I watched for maybe 3 years in the 90s, consistently,
I wouldn't.
I have no knowledge of it. It was a very interesting. Kept you engaged.
So I will like
you
it.
Will like
even
the documentary.
Okay.
It is an interesting piece on an industry, and it does a very good job of explaining very quickly the wrestling world and the business. And really, it is very Vince McMahon focused.
And one of the things Don Leibel always said was these guys are very talented, even though when you look at it and they come falling down, they slap to make it look like they really got hit, or sometimes they cut themselves even. To get the blood, that these guys put their bodies through an awful lot, and they're very, very 100%. Talented.
And you guys can make fun of me all you want.
I'm not making fun of it.
Many of them on drugs.
I watch it on Monday. I watch it on Tuesday. I watch it on Wednesday. Thursday, I don't watch it.
How come? Why not Thursday? Is it a holy day or?
No, it's another wrestling that I just can't get into.
Yeah, boy.
And I watch it on Friday, and I even watch it on Saturday.
You do?
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
It is very. It gets into a lot. It gets into a lot of different things.
How would you have time to do anything else? That's what I say.
Well, if I fall asleep early, I DVR it and watch it the next day.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
but I have the Peacock network, so I can watch anything anytime I want.
All right.
It also
you would
gets
need
into
that for this.
Yeah.
It also gets into the CTE issue in wrestling.
Okay.
And the guy that our man Cully was talking about that had I think he was a wrestler or something, or played football, and he's like revolutionary in the research for it.
Christopher Nowinski is his
Nowinski,
name.
For concussion.
Yeah, he's in the documentary as well.
And he feels that Cully feels that he had several concussions, and that's played a role.
Probably has CTE,
a very difficult role in his life.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, so
It was very gripping and intriguing. I enjoyed it.
We have gotten that out of the way. Coming up, we'll speak with Willie Waffle about that and other stuff as well, whatever you can stream and watch. Good times. Last night, it's funny because my wife wanted to watch something, and I said, I cannot. not with the Mets game on. And then you've got, football on top of that. So she came down, I don't know, it was like the 7th inning or something, looked at the score and said, oh, boy, this is probably going to be the end. And I
Bill's
said,
going to have to sleep on the couch.
It's been a good run, but I'm afraid, this is even me last night, I'm afraid my run with the New York Mets this season is coming to an end. And how wrong I was, I should have still believed, as they say.
You have to believe with that.
You
with
gotta
that team,
believe.
That's been their whole season. The comeback kids. They were down 11. They were 11 games out of first place in July.
And the only thing I would say, yes, in that regard, but in terms of games, when they won, they won. I am a little nervous with this falling behind and coming from behind and winning. You can only do it for so long. Although, if you remember in 1986, that was how that team was able to do it. That just when you thought they were down and out, they won another game. And right down to Game 6 of the 86 World Series, when you thought it was over with, and the ball went through the legs of Billy Buckner, and the Mets made the comeback. It was just spectacular. Amazing. So let's see where we go with this. Probably nowhere. But I would love to see the Mets and the Yankees go head-to-head.
So you're rooting for the Yankees?
I am rooting for the. It's funny because in like the 7th or 8th inning last night, I said I'm gonna let everybody know tomorrow, Andrew and Davey, that I am rooting for the Yankees. That I'm
I'll
rooting
support
for
the Mets
local
as
team.
well. I'll be supporting the Mets and have been. So.
Well, you will right up until if they end up playing each other.
Correct.
Right? Quick break. Willie Waffle is coming up in a second. What you can watch this weekend, whether it's.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for the past 52 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedsantique.com.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, he just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
I got Davey and Andrew talking wrestling. Deeds in New Hartford. Hey, at least they aren't trying to put a hotel next to your kid's school like they are in New Hartford. Not happy about that. A hotel would be quite a distance from the school, I would think, right?
That comment came back earlier this week when we were talking about the Stewarts and Clinton.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, are they? So the thought is they're trying to put a hotel next to the school, but it's like across the street and way down the street.
Yeah. Ron, I am listening. So there, when we hit the commercial break on accident, I don't know why, but I think because that stop set didn't end. Yeah. It was 11 minutes of commercials. Sorry, Ron. Listen, that's out of our control.
I have hit the board incorrectly twice this morning. So it's now touchscreen. So if you get close to it, you can hit you can fire off a commercial.
So that's why
break.
what I would say with the mic situation is difficult. If you start to hit the play button on the left screen, then you'll avoid. That's for sure. You'll know that you're.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
That'll fire a break too.
We'll see. We'll see what I do, Andrew. Today is the start of the first was National Pizza Month. I don't know if you know.
Ooh.
But going into this weekend, I also don't know if you know, today is National Cinnamon Roll Day.
Oh, come on.
Stupid. And today is National Vodka Day.
Vodka.
On the line right now is Willie Waffle. And Willie, good morning.
Hey, good morning. You want to hear the worst touch screen story ever?
Oh, yeah. Bring it on.
Okay, so here I'll try. I won't take too much time, but I was with a station in DC, and we're doing a remote. We're a good 20 miles away from the station. Everything's going perfect technically. Everything's wonderful. We're in the last 15 minutes, and all of a sudden, every commercial starts playing at the same time. We're freaking out. We're like, what's going on? It turns out the brand new janitor was trying to impress everybody.
Oh, no.
And went into the studio.
Cleaning the board.
Sprayed the screen. The screen and was wiping it.
Oh, my.
That's awesome.
Well, there is a way to do that. You have to exit out of so you
have to minimize the board.
Right. You got to take away the board. You got to exit out of it, and then you could clean the screen. But, Willie, I could see that happening. I just hope
it was horrible.
He wasn't using Windex, because you don't want to use Windex on monitors or TVs.
I think he was.
Oh, that's terrible. That'll
he didn't last long.
Major damage. Yeah.
He got wiped out.
Listen, at least that station, you guys had a janitor around here. It's like
clean up your own mess.
DJ/janitor. That's what we are. Okay, Willie, we were just talking about the WWE Vince McMahon documentary, and everybody that I've spoken to, whether you're a fan of this or not, says this thing is really good.
Oh, I think it's good. I mean, I think that the thing for me was, I'm kind of a bigger fan. I knew a lot of these stories. I knew a lot of the background. For me, I thought the most interesting part of the whole documentary was this weird family dynamic between Vince and his son and his daughter, and almost like this. It's almost like he tries to set up a little bit of a rivalry between them, and he kind of ends up picking his daughter over his son, and poor Shane McMahon. I thought so much more highly of him after watching this, because it turns out he just wanted his dad to love him. And Vince McMahon is just not a loving, kind, coddling father. And he just put Shane through just junk on top of junk on top of junk.
So
even when he thought he was done putting up with it, he brought him back to only disappoint him again.
So would you say it's a sad it's a sad documentary?
No.
Well, I think it kind of goes through a lot of different emotions. I mean, there's the sad part about the family relationship. I think there's the exciting part, learning about how he took was essentially a family business and made it into this multi-billion-dollar business that's on the stock exchange.
Yeah.
And then there's the horrifying part. Vince McMahon is a horrible human being, and he's done some horrible things to people, and he might go to jail for it now. Thank God.
Yeah, he's done some pretty bad stuff. But don't you think, Willie, this documentary also gives you, even though it does paint him in a bad light, it does. If I would not want to be Vince McMahon, having sit down for all those interviews and then watch this. But at some points in the series, it does kind of say, you can sympathize a little.
Well, I mean, you can. you can sympathize with some of the struggles that they went through to make the business what it was. I remember the story very vividly. WrestleMania. Launching WrestleMania could have destroyed WWF at the time. That they put everything they had into it. They mortgaged the house. I mean, if this thing didn't do well, WWF is gone. And so you feel a little bit there. You feel a little bit for just the way Vince McMahon was raised. I mean, he was essentially left by his father. I mean, he didn't know who his father really was for the first 12 years of his life or something. His mother had a horrible husband or a stepfather that abused Vince McMahon. I mean, you kind of see how this horrible childhood is what really kind of shaped him and warped him in a lot of ways.
I want to switch gears if we could. I just am completely shocked that at the age of 60, Frank Fritz has died.
It's
so he had been suffering from Crohn's disease for forever, and then had a stroke. And
this is Pickers guy.
This is the guy from
American Pickers.
American Pickers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
so there's the taller guy, and then the heavier, I would say Italian
bearded
or
mustache
French-looking guy.
So Mike Wolf was the taller guy,
and
Frankie was the kind of the smaller, more rotund of the two.
And he is now
there you go,
gone at the age of 60.
Wow, that's sad.
Yeah, and he had a lot of health problems, like you said, the stroke, and he and Wolf had a falling out a few years ago, and he's been off the show for 4 years now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The show hasn't been the same. Well, and that's the thing. You wouldn't know because they have so many episodes. I mean, I think they
so many
started
repeats.
This thing, in 2010, and so you can use these things all the time. I mean, they're just looking at junk in the garage. I mean, there's nothing timely about it, and so you kind of didn't get the sense that he was gone because you see him in the repeats all the time.
Yeah.
He really has been gone for 4 years.
Well, and the interesting thing is we've had a lot of big-time celebrity and athletic deaths, so to speak. John Amos recently passing as well from Good Times and Coming to America.
Oh, yeah,
he played, I believe, who did he play? Not Eddie Murphy's father. He played the girlfriend's father.
He was the owner of the fast food place, or the manager of the fast food
place.
Yeah.
But in this case, 60 years old, so
That's
young.
very young.
Yeah. Okay, what else do we have? Streaming this weekend, Willie. We got about 4 minutes.
Okay.
Streaming and movies.
Streaming
and movies.
Let's talk about the big movie because I know you've been talking about this for weeks.
Yes, the Riddler. Oh, sorry, I've got it all screwed up.
It's Joker.
Oh, I'm excited about this one.
This is gonna be big.
I'm sorry to ruin your excitement. I really think the first Joker was amazing. It was one of the best films of the year that year. And Joaquin Phoenix really created this Arthur Fleck in such an amazing way that when you see Joker 2, you're like, what happened? It's a movie that seems very, very pointless in a lot of ways. We're catching up with the Joker a couple years later. We see him being held at Arkham Asylum as he awaits trial for all the things that happened in the first movie, and he has earned he's behaved in a positive way while he's at Arkham Asylum, and he's allowed to participate in a singing class that's used to treat the prisoners, and that's where he meets Lee Quinzel, played by Lady Gaga, a woman we all in the comic book world will call Harley Quinn. And, and we see basically a musical of all of the fantasies that are going on in the Joker's mind. And that's where they lose me. I mean, it's all these musical pieces that are really well produced. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're cool, but it makes the movie very artsy and a little weird, and it doesn't contribute to the story. It was like filler. They didn't have enough story, so let's throw in some musical pieces.
Yeah, it's dubbed and marketed as a genre of musical/thriller.
Yeah, not a great combination, my friend.
Yeah. What do you give it? What do you give it?
Yeah, I'm at 2 waffles. I still think Joaquin Phoenix is great. I think Lady Gaga is a much better actress than I think a lot of people give her credit for. But this isn't a movie that just kind of is blah.
Okay.
That's too bad.
So not worth going out to the theaters. Maybe we should wait for it to stream.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe that's the
All
best bet.
Anything else worth getting into the theater with? 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
20 seconds. Hold Your Breath on Hulu. A horror story about Sarah Paulson and her family trapped in the Dust Bowl in the 1930s, and they're going crazy.
Okay.
It's okay. It's 2 waffles.
All right, Willie. Good stuff. There's so much to watch. It's like
so little time.
So little time. So much to watch. SNL is live again this weekend. If you care about that. But it's going to be.
Got into a spat with Spirit Halloween. I wish we had time to
talk about that. But what a beautiful weekend weather-wise we have coming up. 70s and sunshine. All right, Willie, have fun. We'll see you next week.
All right, talk to you next week.
Thanks so much. News is next.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome,
W295EI,
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
It's now up to at least 220 people dead, a week after Hurricane Helene first hit. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
The devastation here is truly heartbreaking.
Fox Weather's Jane Menards in Boone, North Carolina, one of many places inundated by flooding.
The overall pulse of what I've been able to gather here on the ground, especially in these local communities, these rural areas, is that they haven't felt much help from the state just yet. It has truly been neighbors helping neighbors.
President Biden went to Florida and Georgia, where there's also devastation.
FEMA teams are literally knocking on doors to register folks so they can receive assistance, to buy what they urgently need.
Former President Trump is critical of the federal response. He'll go to Georgia and North Carolina today after a rally in Michigan saying if he's elected again,
we will cut energy and electricity prices in half within 12 months.
In Wisconsin, an anti-Trump Republican who used to be in Congress endorsed Vice President Harris.
Liz Cheney really is a leader who puts country above party and above self, a true patriot.
Former President Trump reacted, telling Fox Cheney is a stupid war hawk. Iran's foreign minister's gone to Beirut as Israeli airstrikes keep hitting Lebanon, targeting Iran-backed Hezbollah. And Fox's Nate Foy reports from Tel Aviv.
As we await Israel's response.
deaths by motorcycle in central New York this week. The motorcyclist, 67-year-old Steve Bergwin, again passed away at the scene. So far, no tickets have been given to the driver, and witnesses are asked to contact the sheriff's department. And scientists are announcing they've mapped the entire brain of a fruit fly. The milestone in neurobiological research could provide insights into brains across the entire animal kingdom. The research published in the journal Nature shows more than 50 million connections between nearly 140,000 neurons or nerve cells inside the insect. Scientists believe the mapping will help them understand better how brains are wired and the indicators of healthy brain functions. The brain of a fruit fly is less than 4/100th of an inch wide.
I have to say, we're in a fruit fly problem in our pantry. I don't know where they came from. I think
once
there may have been a bad onion. I don't know what it was, but something brought in these fruit flies.
You know what you get that I found success with? The plug-in with the blue light and the tack strip that goes behind. It's like an insert that goes behind the light.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And the light draws them in, and they stick to the...
Oh, I got to look for that.
It's awesome.
So what I did do, because I could not find, I went to Lowe's and Home Depot to find the red apple.
Yes,
that you
those
put the
work
stuff
well,
in,
too.
and it's supposed to kill them. I couldn't find it. So...
You know what you do?
Okay, yes.
No, you're going to tell me what you do.
I am going to tell you.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, you can tell me. Go
Well,
ahead.
no, you take a rocks glass, you fill it with apple cider vinegar, saran wrap, rubber band, poke holes in the top.
I took a canning jar, and I put apple cider vinegar in it, and I got some good apple cider vinegar. It's one of those that is, you can see the particles of apple in it at the bottom. So I put about 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/2 inch in, put cellophane over the top, rubber band, and poke little tiny, tiny holes, and they are flocking to it like,
I know. What am I thinking? You're not going to use one of your rock glasses for that? Come
No,
on.
you can't do that. For God's sakes, what a waste.
What am I thinking?
And on National Vodka Day. What a waste.
It is.
All right, we have a forecast, Andrew.
Yes, we do. It's brought to you by Clinton Tractor.
And it looks amazingly good.
Yes, brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. For today, we will see sunny skies with temperatures in the mid-70s. A little bit of rain possible overnight, cloudy with a low in the low 50s. Tomorrow, sunshine again with a high close to 70. Sunday, we'll see a slight chance of rain, otherwise sunny skies with a high in the low 70s. Overall, a real nice weekend. Right now, 51 degrees under partly cloudy skies at 7:10. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The Falcons kicked off Week 5 with a thrilling 36-30 overtime takedown of the Bucs on Thursday Night Football. You heard it right here on WIBX. The action will continue with a dozen more games on Sunday, with the Vikings challenging the Jets in London. The Texans will host the Bills in a matchup between AFC frontrunners, and Lamar Jackson and the Ravens will host Joe Burrow and the Bengals for a clash in Cincinnati. The Steelers will host the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, and the Chiefs will host the Saints on Monday Night Football. Speaking of the Chiefs, they've put star wide receiver Rashee Rice on the injured reserve list. The 24-year-old leads the team with 24 catches and 288 yards this season, while being tied with 2 touchdown receptions for the most for the team. In Major League Baseball, wow, the Mets still alive. After rallying for a 4-2 win over the Milwaukee Brewers in Game 3 of the NL wildcard at American Family Field, trailing by a couple runs entering the final frame, Pete Alonso broke out of his slump finally, launched a 3-run shot to give the Mets the lead. Edwin Diaz was credited with the victory after striking out 3 batters over an inning and 2/3 of scoreless relief. David Peterson secured the save. New York will now face the Philadelphia Phillies in the NLDS. Game 1 of the best-of-5 series is slated for tomorrow afternoon at Citizens Bank Park. The Yankees begin their quest for a 28th World Series championship tomorrow night. The Bronx Bombers opening their best-of-5 ALDS against the Kansas City Royals at Yankee Stadium. Garrett Cole will get the start for the Pinstripes. He's the reigning AL Cy Young winner, finishing 8-5 this season with a 3.41 ERA, 99 strikeouts over 95 innings. He needs to step up big. KC is in the American League Division Series after sweeping the Baltimore Orioles in the wild card round. Also, the Syracuse University football team will be in Sin City tonight as they look to pick up a second straight win. The Orange are set to take on the UNLV Rebels at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. They are underdogs. We'll talk to Scott in Kirkville a little bit later on this morning about that, but SU is coming off a dominant 42-14 victory over Holy Cross last Saturday. That pushed their record this season to 3 wins and 1 loss. Kickoff for this evening contest is scheduled for 9 p.m.
Davey, you feel that this weekend, a win tonight would be a very, very big, because they're ranked number 25 in the country.
For Syracuse against UNLV, yes, it would. It would be a great momentum for Syracuse, especially in getting a major bowl. A bowl.
Yeah, okay. A bowl. A bowl game. Anything else? Anything further? All the playoffs get underway this weekend. A lot of football, a lot of action, local football, et cetera, et cetera.
NHL hockey kicks off tonight in Prague, Czechoslovakia. It's the Devils and the Sabres. 1 o'clock today, 10 o'clock tomorrow. It's the first official game of the season.
And wrestling is on this weekend.
Yes, 6 o'clock tomorrow night.
That'll be exciting. I can't wait for that. Coming up, we'll also, a week from today, the Comets open up at home. 1 week from today, the Utica Comets. You can hear them out in the hallway.
Yelling and screaming.
Yeah. They're out there. This is where they practice every Friday. You can hear them. They're having some fun. Got a break. Coming up, we'll talk about the strike is over. For
now.
We're talking about this shipping strike along the East Coast. Down into Texas. The strike is over for now. Steve Spurbeck is coming up.
Need new tires? Nokian Tires is celebrating 90 years of legendary Hakkapeliitta winter tires with a consumer rebate. Now through October 31st. When you buy 4 select winter, all-season, and all-weather tires, you can save up to $80 by mail on a MasterCard prepaid card. Offer expires October 31st, 2024. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit their stores and meet their team of experts, or schedule your appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. As the leader in identity theft protection, LifeLock reminds you to update your passwords. Using the same password across multiple accounts makes you vulnerable to cyber criminals. Updating your passwords is only one way to help protect yourself. For comprehensive identity theft protection, you need LifeLock. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information, but also fixes issues that arise. Start protecting your identity today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY.
You'll find no shortage of work to do in a New Holland Workmaster or Boomer compact tractor. Available now at Clinton Tractor. Get 0% financing for 72 months, plus no payments for 90 days, or choose cash back on these 24 to 55 horsepower compact and subcompact tractors. Stop into Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Offer ends soon.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow by New Nordic. Millions of men and women around the world trust Hair Grow. With its patented tocotrienol complex, Hair Grow naturally reduces inflammation in the scalp and is clinically proven to promote new hair growth and increase hair count in as little as 4 months. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS.
By now, you've probably heard of Upside, the free app that gets you real cash back at gas stations. But Upside is so much more than just a gas app. Upside lets you earn cash back at more than 85,000 grocery stores, gas stations, and restaurants, including popular national chains and local favorites. Just download the free app, claim an offer, and get real cash back on your purchase. There are no complicated points or rebates. With Upside, you can earn up to $10 cash back every time you go to the grocery store or dine out. That's up to $10 right back in your pocket on every meal out and every grocery run. The best part? You can earn on top of your credit or debit card rewards. Download Upside today. Use promo code SNACK10 and get a 10% cashback bonus on your first purchase. Get the Upside app and use promo code SNACK10 for an extra 10% cashback bonus. That's promo code SNACK10. Offers vary by user and location. Terms and conditions apply. Go to upside.com for details.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
This is Kevin Fear, president of Mattress Express. You may have heard in the local media that one of our competitors has filed for bankruptcy. Please do not confuse that company with my company, Mattress Express. We are your local, solid, reliable hometown mattress store. I've been in business in this community for over 35 years. I am here today. I will be here tomorrow. If you have ordered a bed elsewhere and it has taken far too long to come in, bring your receipt to Mattress Express. We will meet or beat the price on the same or comparable bed and get it delivered quickly for you. If you see a bed advertised locally, we will do the same. And right now, on most king and queen sets in our store, get a free adjustable base upgrade and take up to 5 years to pay on anything in the store with no money down for qualified buyers. See store for details. Shop with confidence at Mattress Express.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, listen, the official copy of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Daylight Donuts into Hartford. And do you know right now that you could call up if you have a workplace and you have a bunch of people coming in, you want to do something nice for your workers, you could call Daylight Donuts right now and say, bring me bagels, bring me a couple boxes of coffee, bring me donuts, add some breakfast sandwiches
and they'll
in
deliver.
there. And I want, give me some avocado toast. 6 avocado toasts, 3 things of coffee, give me 3 dozen donuts and a dozen bagels with cream cheese. And please deliver. They'll deliver for you. Daylight Donuts is now delivering, and you can order for your workplace.
That's crazy.
Yep. And they also serve that. I had the avocado toast the other day. It's so good. Heidelberg French peasant bread. They said they would even deliver down to Georgia. Is that where Steve is?
Yes, he is.
For ERL Intermodal.
That may even be a nice belated birthday gift for Steve, who
Could be.
Celebrated his birthday yesterday in style. Did I see you, Steve? Did I see that you took a private jet to your birthday dinner?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, good thing we had a friend in the area from someone we do business with that I said, I'm going to go to Atlanta and make some sales calls. He goes, let's go. He was coming to Atlanta with his private plane. So I made a look on Facebook. Like the reason was for my birthday, which yesterday was my birthday.
That's
and we
the real
did go out
reason.
and celebrate it. But, the drive between Savannah and Atlanta is a horrible drive with traffic. So if you can beat the traffic by flying, it's always better. So
you're in your state. You're in Savannah.
Savannah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Happy birthday. The strike is over. For now, though, what do we know?
So, thank God, people can stop hoarding toilet paper.
Oh.
The strike is over.
And meanwhile, the toilet paper is. We said this the other day. Toilet paper is not an issue. But people are going to make it an issue by hoarding the toilet paper. And that
I've never understood that.
I know.
It's
exactly what's happening.
80% of toilet paper is made domestically. So you never have to worry about that.
Right.
But, no, I mean, I guess the union proved their point. They wanted to have a disruption because leading up to the strike, they haven't even negotiated since June. So, they were hell-bent on proving a point and shut everything down to prove that, they could bring
they could do it.
Half of the country to its knees. And, the unfortunate part is companies like us and a lot of truckers that rely on the port to do business are the ones that really suffered. I mean, the longshoremen still get paid. If it went past today, we were probably going to have to lay off 65 of our employees.
Wow.
Yeah, you said that. That's terrible.
Because there's nothing moving. We charge for our services. That's how we make money. That's how we pay our drivers. And thank God they finally got to the table, and everybody said they're not as far off as they think they are. And but it was just the union president was just. It was his mission to do this, and he wasn't.
And he did it.
And he did it. So.
You feel that now they're going to get back. This is what Mike is saying here this morning. Let me throw this at you and give me your opinion. Well, it's great they stopped the shipping strike. The main sticking point, automation, was not resolved. They'll meet in January. Trying to stop automation in today's society seems pretty difficult.
They're not meeting in January. The contract, basically, they're working under the old contract until January 15th.
I see.
Is technically the new strike date.
But will they be
if they don't have a deal?
Yeah, but do you feel that now negotiations will resume from now until then?
I think so. Here's a couple of things that happened. A major hurricane came and hit a lot of population base last week.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of pressure politically was put on the union to come to terms and figure this out, because there's a lot of goods that are on these containers that people are probably going to need to rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
So, that kind of softened. I started getting word yesterday, early afternoon, that a deal was going to be made by the end of the night last night, which it did. But I think they're close. They must have the framework for an agreement in place.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the United States ports are probably some of the most inefficient ports in the world. So I believe there is automation is a good thing in certain points, but I also see where the union wants to protect jobs
the
as
workers
well.
and their jobs. Yeah. Interesting. And it's funny that we had heard on Sunday and Monday that this strike was going to happen. So before it happened, we had heard from someone who had contact with a union member here, and we heard it was going to happen, and it would last for only about 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
So I think they knew exactly what they were going to do.
They did, and that's the same thing I heard 3 days. But as it kind of, as the week kind of progressed, I was kind of losing faith in that. But thank God, they came to their senses, and it's not good for their members either. No, strike doesn't benefit anybody.
Sure.
The president could have avoided all this by invoking the Taft-Hartley Act, which would have given them 90 days, which is basically what they just did.
Right. Well, I think that what you have is politics there, and on one hand, he is going to protect the country, which is what his role is. On the other hand, he's going to anger union supporters. And what do? Politics always comes before the country. You should know that, Steve. We all know that. Unfortunately, that's the worst part of politics. It is just it's terrible. And the fact that we're in a presidential election within 30 days certainly didn't help. Okay, well, listen, the aversion, you get to the layoff is averted. That's a good thing.
Yes. In Savannah, we're all back to work. In New York, they'll be back to work on Monday because the ports in New York aren't going to open up till Monday. But we're full bore down here in Savannah already. So
how long is it going to take for the ports to catch back up?
Probably 6 weeks.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Crazy.
There were six. There in the East Coast. There's 75 vessels that are anchored now, waiting, and more arriving every day. So
wow.
Yeah, that was just what they wanted.
Yeah, so that's what they created. All right, Steve Spurback with ERL. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you guys. Take care.
Thanks. Another little comment here this morning on the guy from the Pickers, American Pickers. Fritz suffered from a significant back issues and also had a drinking problem, which did not help him.
That probably
so you
doesn't
put
help.
that together with his Crohn's disease, together with the stroke, and so he's the guy. He's the dark-haired, the heavier set guy on American Pickers. I didn't know that he's been off the show, and Willie's right because there's so many repeats that run. They can just keep running repeats, and you keep seeing a brand new show. You'd have no idea.
Well, I feel bad about this, but I had totally forgotten about American Pickers altogether.
Well, every once in a while, you're flipping across the channels.
Yeah, you'll see it.
And there it is. All right, coming up, we're going to do Hobica's Free Money Question of the Day. Andrew, you've asked the question, how much money are we looking at today?
I did ask
What
that.
is the?
I was curious.
And Davey has not answered us. Here he is now. How much?
$300.
Wow. We had a $300 winner yesterday.
He's feeling a little arrogant from his Falcons pick.
I believe so. After a very slow September, in terms of giving away Hobica's money, we had a bit of a drought. However, it all changed yesterday with a $300 winner. $300 on the line today. Could we be looking at a $600 week with Hobica?
Oof.
Pretty cool. We'll give you a chance to win that coming up in a second. And the cash codes. We give you, this is very easy. We give you a series of numbers, and you just have to plug them in on the website. And you could win how much money? Up to like $30,000.
Up to $30,000.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool, too. We just give money away like it's going out of style. We'll get to all that coming up in a second. Andrew with an update here on Friday morning, heading into what is going to be one of the nicest weekends of the fall, with sunshine and temperatures in the low to mid 70s before a cooler week comes our way next week. Is it possible to drive an award-winning Mazda with 0% APR financing? Well, the answer is absolutely. Find out at Steve Ponte Mazda. They'll prove it to you. You can drive a new 2024 Mazda CX-5 SE model for $285 a month on a 36-month lease. Or you could save with 0% financing. 0% APR financing on select award-winning new 2024 Mazdas. See Steve Ponte Mazda for details. And I don't know if you realize this, but Consumer Reports just did a real, pretty intense investigation into the safest vehicles on the road today. And for 2024, the safest vehicle on the road, by far, winning all of the categories, is the CX-90 from Steve Ponte Mazda.
It's a very nice
The
vehicle.
Mazda CX-90 is considered protecting people inside the car, people outside the car. It is considered the safest vehicle on the road today. And you can see one, whether it's a hybrid or traditional, you can see one at Steve Ponte Mazda. As Rick says, come in, let's make your deal on a new Mazda, where it's always easy to do business at Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Joe Griffo is there when we need him. No matter how big or small the issue, Joe makes a difference. He has the clout in Albany to get things done, and that's huge for all of us. As Assistant Minority Leader, Joe's helped secure over $1 billion for roads, bridges, and schools, and investments like the Odd, Wynn Hospital, and high-tech jobs at Griffiths and Marcy. We're coming back because Joe Griffo has our back. This fall, vote to re-elect Senator Joe Griffo because Joe gets things done.
Senator Joe Griffo knows our recent progress is amazing, but there's so much more to be done to keep the momentum going. Joe's committed to delivering critical aid for infrastructure and schools and supporting small business. He'll keep the pressure on Governor Hochul and the New York City majority to reverse our dangerous bail laws and stop the flow of illegal immigrants. It's time to give law enforcement the tools they need to keep us safe. This fall, let's keep the comeback going. Re-elect Senator Joe Griffo. Paid for by friends at Joe Griffo 2024.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or diabetes, you're at higher risk of being hospitalized from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
You want to recycle, but you're not sure what's recyclable, what goes in your weekly recycling bin, or what goes in the trash. Wheelock Disposal Service, your recycling experts, wants to give you some helpful tips in determining what waste goes where. Some plastic containers can go in your weekly recycling bin, like milk, water, soda, detergent, and condiment bottles. Don't put plastic cups, plates, utensils, snack bags, straws, or plastic wrappers in your recycling bin. They are not acceptable. For more information, go to wheelockdisposal.com, your recycling experts.
October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. As the leader in identity theft protection, LifeLock reminds you to update your passwords. Using the same password across multiple accounts makes you vulnerable to cyber criminals. Updating your passwords is only one way to help protect yourself. For comprehensive identity theft protection, you need LifeLock. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information, but also fixes issues that arise. Start protecting your identity today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY.
3 things to remember about Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshaw. 1. Marianne is the most independent member of the State Assembly. No majority member votes for us more than she does. 2. Marianne is the only Mohawk Valley representative who has a seat at the table of power. She's in the room, pushing back against the downstate agenda. And 3. Marianne is one of the few true moderates in the State Assembly. As a result, she's supported by New York's most important labor unions and endorsed by the Business Council and the National Federation of Independent Businesses. Assemblywoman Buttonshaw supports small business, police, firefighters, and first responders. She's a career educator who delivered record increases in aid for local schools. She's a farmer who understands and supports other farmers. And she's reasonable, tough, and independent. Vote for Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshaw. She fights for the Mohawk Valley first. Paid for by Friends of Marianne Buttonshaw and not by the taxpayers of New York State.
October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. As the leader in identity theft protection, LifeLock reminds you to update your passwords. Using the same password across multiple accounts makes you vulnerable to cyber criminals. Updating your passwords is only one way to help protect yourself. For comprehensive identity theft protection, you need LifeLock. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information, but also fixes issues that arise. Start protecting your identity today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY.
Right now at Mattress Express, buy almost any king or queen set in the store and get a free adjustable base upgrade. Everybody loves a free adjustable base. And take up to 5 years to pay for anything in the store with no money down for qualified buyers. See store for details.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 7:35. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information. We have 49 degrees under cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. A man police say had multiple loaded guns, traditional and 3D printed, in his home, some without serial numbers. Promised to do his best to never offend again at his sentencing on Thursday in Herkimer County Court. Herkimer police were doing a welfare check on 27-year-old Wayne Brunner back in March when they found the cache of weapons. The question that will forever remain, what would he have done with them had police not found them? Originally charged with 16 counts, Brunner pled guilty August 1st to one count of third-degree criminal possession of a weapon, for which he was sentenced to 3 years in state prison. An investigation continues into what caused a fatal crash in Onondaga County. The collision happened yesterday in the area of South Bay Road and Whitting Road in Cicero and involved a motorcycle and a vehicle. The motorcyclist, 67-year-old Stephen Bergwin, passed away at the scene. That's 4 motorcycle deaths in central New York this week. So far, no tickets have been given to the driver, and witnesses are asked to contact the sheriff's department. Parents and guardians are being urged to protect babies in their care from the dangers posed by RSV. The respiratory virus can be harmful to children, but there is a vaccine available that will protect kids for months. Pregnant women can also get themselves vaccinated before giving birth. RSV is spread through contact with droplets from the nose and throat of infected people. Symptoms include cough, sneezing, fever, decreased appetite, and wheezing. And the Syracuse University football team will be in Sin City tonight as they look to pick up a second straight win. The underdog Orange are set to take on the UNLV Rebels at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. USU is coming off a dominant 42-14 victory over Holy Cross last Saturday that pushed their record this season to 3 wins and 1 loss. Kickoff for this evening's contest is scheduled for 9 p.m. We'll speak with Scott in Kirkville the beginning of the 8 o'clock hour to get some insight into that game. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 7:37. Your forecast calling for mostly sunny skies today with a high in the mid-70s. We'll see a chance of rain overnight, cloudy with a low around 50. Tomorrow, sunny skies return, a little bit cooler with a high just barely reaching 70. Then a nice day on Sunday with the possibility of a slight rain shower. Otherwise, sunny skies and a high in the low 70s. Right now, 49 degrees under cloudy skies. It is 7:38.
All right, let's do Hobica's free money question of the day. We're looking at $300 on the line today. $300. And Davey, for $300, what caller number would you like?
Caller number 4 in honor of the Mets, scoring 4 runs on Pete Alonso's 3-run home run.
All right. Caller number 4, 315-736-0186. It's from the Hobica Law Firm, a chance for you to win $300. Caller number 4, 315-736-0186.
Orpheus was a poor boy, but he had a gift to give. And Eurydice was a young girl, but she'd seen how the world was. She fell in spite of herself in love with Orpheus.
Broadway Utica proudly presents Hadestown, October 8th and 9th at the Stanley Theater. For tickets, go to BroadwayUtica.org.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, coming up in a second, we're going to speak with Allison Ritchie. She's with the New York State Association for Convenience Stores. They are opposing County Executive Anthony Picenti's proposed laws on a licensing situation for any stores which sell
so we have
marijuana.
The full list here.
What is it called?
No,
like
drug, there's 2 separate paraphernalia, smoking paraphernalia specifically. No matter what you're smoking within that device. There was 2 laws introduced about a month ago. One that's like targeting illegal pot shops.
Even a pipe, if you were smoking like Barkham Riff.
Water pipe, hookah, rolling papers, leaf, Tendu leaves. I don't know what that is. Electronic pipes, electronic cigarettes, electronic tank devices, any other device, equipment, or apparatus designed for the inhalation of tobacco or nicotine. Licensing fee of $2,500 that must be renewed every 2 years.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting.
And the big push now from this association is that the Oneida County Legislature will be presented with these laws for a vote, I believe, as soon as October 9th.
Okay. All right, let me go to Dale first in Utica. Ready to take a shot at Hobica's free money question of the day. Hello, Dale. Good morning.
Good morning.
You ready?
I'm ready.
This is your chance to win $300. We gave away $300 yesterday from the Hobeika Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobeika. For your legal needs, call the Hobeika Law Firm at 315-724-1600. Short on cash? Call us and win their money. That's where we are right now.
Is that their new slogan?
It is their new slogan, I think, yeah. Okay, if you're ready to go, you're going to have 7 seconds to answer this for $300. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
All right, here's your question. I'm going to give you a word, and I want you to tell me what it is.
Oh, so you're not going with the question you had said.
No, I got a different one here. Okay, here's your word. Hippopotamonstrosis equiptaliophobia. 36 letters. It is the fear of what? Ready, go.
Fear of hippos?
Is it the fear of hippos? Hippopotamonstrosis equiptaliophobia.
I think the fact that you really were struggling with that word should give him another question.
Well, no, that should be that's
the
the
fear
clue.
of mispronunciation?
No, it's the fear of long words. You don't like that?
No, it was all right.
Andrew doesn't like the question. He thinks it's an unfair question.
I think you got to give him something else.
All right, let me try another one for you.
Give him that other question you were going to.
All right, here's another one for you. How many letters in the word? All right, I already said that. It's 36. All right. You want me to give him another for $300?
For $300.
Okay, I'll give him another one for $1.75.
That's fair.
All right.
Because if he gave it, if I gave a second chance and then it was $300, then Hobeika could be coming after me.
This is a second chance for $175.
Right,
a little more than half. Okay. All right. Are you ready?
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Right. Here we go. Here is your question. Nearly 1/4 of the bones in your body are located where? Ready? Go.
In your hands.
Is it? That's a good guess, I guess. Is it your hands?
I have no idea. I guess the jaw because the teeth and the...
Davey, 1/4 of the bones in your body are located where?
In your arms.
The answer is hands was a good guess. Because you have all those, if everybody injures your hand, it's like all the answer is your feet. Nearly a quarter.
I almost went with feet.
So I'm saying this is kind of like a guess.
Yeah.
You're going to guess your head, your feet, your hands.
And for those who say we don't have doable questions, that's a very doable question for what would have been 300 or 170.
Well, the Comets will open up 1 week from at home, 1 week from tonight. And the all-in-one food and fun card can help you there, or one of their restaurants. Babes, Aquavino, Taylor and the Cook, 72 Tavern and Grill, and the list goes on. So stand by. Davey's going to hook you up.
Thank you very much.
All right, Dale. We tried. We really tried. You stand by, and Davey's got you. We tried. All right. This is a law that is being proposed by County Executive Anthony Pacini, and it has caught the attention of the New York State Association for Convenience Stores. They are opposing this vehemently and for many reasons. It would put a licensing fee, very much like a liquor license, onto any store that sells smoking paraphernalia.
Now, again, if you're talking about pipes, water pipes, hookahs, there are some niche convenience stores that sell these pipes that admittedly people will use for marijuana purposes, but they'll also smoke tobacco out of. But now if you're talking about rolling papers, that's every gas station essentially in central New York.
So it would also include that. They would just stop selling that stuff probably so they didn't have to pay the fee. On the line right now is a representative from the New York State Association for Convenience Stores, Allison Ritchie. Allison, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Good. Okay. Give me your take on this. And you guys, the Association for Convenience Stores, vehemently opposes this, right?
We absolutely do. Of course, the biggest issue with it is the licensing fee. At $2,500 to start, that's 730% higher than what stores already pay for their state liquor license at $300 per year.
Wow.
So it's astronomical. It feels a little bit like a cash grab. And our stores are used to being licensed. We're licensed to sell not only tobacco, but alcohol, lottery, fuel, food. And so, that's not the big issue. That it's the cost. Yeah. That's really detrimental.
I think the bigger shock is the cost for a liquor license, only $300. That seems low.
Well,
Well,
I'm
for
not
selling.
sure with the liquor licenses. I know the tobacco license on the state level is $300.
Okay.
All right. Well, and for a liquor license to be able to sell alcohol versus, and this is something we could ask our friend Greeley, but to serve it is, I think it's like $2,500, something like that for a license. Okay. And I do feel like what the county is trying to do, what the county executive is probably trying to do, we have a lot of places that are selling marijuana illegally. They're not licensed to sell it. So most likely this would add a little more teeth for them to.
Well, there are two separate laws as well. So that there's a law that targets that, but this is specifically for.
I understand, but my point is when you go in. And if you're selling the marijuana, you're probably selling the other stuff. If you're selling illegal marijuana, you're probably doing it unlicensed. It adds another crime to be able to.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying.
And the Convenience Store Association understands that, and we support that. But when it starts infringing on, the ability for a day-to-day convenience store to do business, the other piece of the legislation is going to require that anybody who's employed by the store selling paraphernalia has to be over the age of 21. That's just not really doable for convenience stores.
Well, and also when you think about it, bars aren't restricted in that way, right?
Exactly.
It could be 18 for alcohol.
It's undue. It's really an excessive burden on responsible retailers who train their employees, whether they're 21 or not, to sell responsibly. And convenience stores have a lot to lose if they get caught in an underage sting, and they're very, very careful about that. So requiring this age limit is really just excessive.
Yeah.
So that I understand this, there are no existing licenses, or you don't have to have any existing license to sell the paraphernalia. Is that correct?
I believe that is correct, yeah.
All right, so would you be for some sort of licensure for those devices or the rolling papers or the hookahs or the pipes, just not for this fee?
A reasonable one, a reasonably priced one, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
By the way, a liquor license is it's $2,500 for 2 years for a liquor license. This would be how many years? This would also be 2 years. Yeah. Are there any? Can I ask you, Allison? Are there any other counties in the state that have similar laws on the books?
There are some being debated right now. There's one in place in Erie County. It's more of a regulation. The County Department of Health has put in place an additional licensing for tobacco retailers, but it's a free license to start. So there's no cost to apply. And in Albany County, there's one that's being debated right now, and that's at $240 a year for that license.
Okay, and this one is being, what are they talking about doing here? How much?
$2,500, and I believe it's got to be renewed every 2 years. So
yeah, that's a lot of money.
But then it's gonna increase over 10 years up to about $3,200. So it just keeps going up year over year.
Do you know what a carton of cigarettes sells for today?
It's got to be $250.
A carton.
Yeah, let me do some quick math.
So there's how many packs in a carton?
150 to 200, yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I know.
The days of, I hate to say it, but you're a kid and you're back when you probably shouldn't have been doing this, but go buy me a pack of cigarettes. How much is a pack?
Like $20.
That's unbelievable.
I think they're between 15 and 20, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's a great point that you bring up. The taxes and the cost of smoking cigarettes is, really high.
Already
not something that your typical teenager is going to be able to afford, whereas they can go online and buy an illegal flavored vape for $13 without getting their ID checked. So that kind of program makes it so that these products can get into the kids' hands. Meanwhile, you have responsible retailers like convenience stores that aren't selling illegal flavored vapes and are getting penalized by propositions like this.
So I see that you represent about 137 convenience stores in Oneida County alone. I got to believe that probably 135 of them are doing things, the way they're supposed to be, and there may be a couple of outliers with everything.
Absolutely.
But
and there always is, and we're, as the state association, we're consistently encouraging our retailers to follow the regulations, follow the laws. They know what's at stake, and the majority of them are doing that. It's the bad actors that need to be targeted. So when this legislation says that the Department of Health is going to have authority over who gets licenses year over year based on the smoking rates, I feel like there could be a better way to kind of figure out who gets their licenses year over year. Those that are not following the already established laws could be the ones that get penalized.
And Mike says here, which is what we kind of said earlier, I think this is a backdoor way to go after the small bodegas that are on every corner that seem to be havens for crime. But you're saying that you understand that, but don't penalize the law-abiding convenience stores, the ones that are responsible in doing it properly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're just looking to make sure that they can remain viable in Oneida County.
All right. The fact that this is you're looking at this in are you fighting the one in Albany County, which has a license of $240 a year?
Yes, we are working on that one as well.
Okay. All right. But you could handle that one a little easier at a $200.
A little bit. There's other nuances there about how the licenses get renewed year over year.
Okay.
And the idea of that legislation is ultimately to reduce the number of tobacco retailers in the county. So there's a little bit of a different angle going on there. But yeah, it's actually they're cropping up in counties all over the state that we're trying to just, protect our stores.
Yep. Okay.
It's just interesting now they're starting to give licenses for marijuana dispensaries. Now they're cracking down on tobacco. It's so fascinating.
And then
it seems a little ironic.
and then I did want to ask you, I see all these like Fireball type bottles and the stuff you can buy in convenience stores now. They are not liquor, right?
That's correct. They're actually malt-based, which is, what convenience stores are permitted to sell.
Okay.
So they're lower alcohol content. So, yeah, they are legal for them to sell. Might be a little confusing.
During, I do have to tell you that I was on a pretty strict diet trying to lose weight, and I was lobbying for the Stewart's chocolate milkshakes to become illegal. I wanted them banned. I wanted them gone.
Yeah, you got to protect your health, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. No one would listen to me though. No one, Allison. It was awful.
Please don't take that fight any further.
Okay, I guess I'll stop. All right. Have you had a conversation with the county executive?
Have not yet. We plan to meet with him on October 15th.
Okay.
And that's ahead of the public hearing that'll take place as with the full Oneida County Legislature passes the bill.
All right.
On the 9th.
Very interesting. We'll be following this to see where it goes. Allison Ritchie, New York State Association for Convenience Stores. Thank you for the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great day. I think I'm on the side of the convenience stores here.
Yeah, I mean, $2,500 to sell a rolling paper is a lot.
Because ultimately, here's the little part of this, and I should have brought this up when Allison was on. Ultimately, we're going to pay for that.
Oh, yeah.
That it's just going to.
100%.
It's not just going to be. I don't believe.
And not just for the tobacco products.
Right. I have a feeling they'll find ways
Your
to make
diet soda is going to go.
They're going to find a way to make that money up, and the only way you're going to do it is by raising prices on everything. So. Okay, interesting. Got a break here. News is next.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
What's up, Utica? It's Ryan Schmelzer.
It's Sam LaBerge.
It's Joe Gambardella.
Amber Gala. Fires! Score!
Are you ready for Comets hockey?
It's fast, it's intense, it's a good time.
We need you in the building.
You can't miss a moment.
Every hit,
Every goal, it's right here, it's now.
live music every Friday night,
And $3 beer on Wednesdays.
We'll see you there.
Get your tickets while you can at uticacomets.com/tickets.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
All right, and Sarah's Flooring Outlet is the area's leading store for anything flooring. And it's anything from Pergo Extreme, where, by the way, at Sarah's you get the 60-mile price guarantee. It's a 60-mile radius of the store. You're guaranteed the lowest price on Pergo Extreme. It's a great product. Deeper visuals. It looks like, if it's made to look like stone, it looks like stone or wood, whatever it is that you're looking for. It has a deep warranty. It's 100% dent-proof, waterproof, kid-proof, and pet-proof. It's a great product. And only in Sarah's will you find 6 months interest-free financing and the largest inventory on whatever it is flooring, from tile to vinyl flooring to hardwoods, to Pergo, any of those products, carpeting, you name it, they have it, and they have the largest selection for you. So check it out in Sarah's Flooring Outlet online, in sarahsflooringoutlet.com, or you could visit them in their Route 49 Plaza. In Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy. Coming up next hour, busy one. We'll talk a little bit about last night, the football game, what's coming up tonight and the weekend. The Bills play on Sunday. Jets are playing Monday.
No, Jets are playing Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, right? That's the London game.
Yep.
And then the Giants.
Who cares?
Okay. Who cares? Syracuse plays tonight. We'll talk to
Giants
Scott
fans
about his picks for the weekend. A restaurant industry expert is out there where, for some reason this year, many have filed for bankruptcy.
The chains.
All of that coming up.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome.
W295EI.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
It's been a week since Hurricane Helene first hit. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and it's up to 220 people dead. More still unaccounted for, and millions still in misery.
4 of our neighbors' homes actually washed away down the river, and it's just a disaster.
Andrew and Devin Freund are in Mountain Lake Island, North Carolina, and like many, have no electricity among the 700,000 power outages that remain.
There's major damage in this small area, and we just feel like we're being forgotten. Hardly anyone has flood insurance.
President Biden assessed damage in Florida and Georgia, pledging full federal assistance.
No Democrats or Republicans out here. It's what we do to make sure we restore the economy. Only Americans are here.
But former President Trump is critical of the response, telling Fox.
They've given over $1 billion to illegal migrants that came in, and now they have no money for North Carolina, for Georgia, for South Carolina, and Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida. I think that's a disgrace.
He'll go to Georgia and North Carolina today. The head of Homeland Security insists FEMA has enough funding for Helene's recovery, but without more money from Congress, they won't have enough if another hurricane hits. Iran's supreme leader led Friday prayers for the first time since 2020, praising Tuesday's missile attack on Israel, saying they'll do it again if necessary. That barrage was in retaliation for the killing of Hezbollah's leader, and Israel keeps targeting the Iran-backed militants.
Israeli airstrikes continued in Beirut overnight. There are reports that Israel targeted
targeted a possible successor to Hassan Nasrallah. Neither the IDF nor Hezbollah have commented on that.
Fox's Nate Foy in Tel Aviv. Dock workers are back on the job this morning at ports from Maine to Texas, ending their 3-day walkout.
The strike is not good for anybody, but it had to be done because we deserve it.
He's in Brooklyn, New York. A tentative agreement gives him a 62% pay raise over 6 years, but that and other issues will continue to be negotiated. America's listening to Fox News.
You know, the big wireless companies want you to overpay for data that you don't need, but you don't have to settle for that with Pure Talk. Well, you get to choose how much data that you actually want. And for $25 a month, you'll get unlimited talk, unlimited text. You're going to get mobile hotspot, 5 gigs of data. Go with Pure Talk, and you get to choose how much data you actually want. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, and if you do it now, you'll save an additional 50% off your first month from Pure Talk. NYPD officer Jonathan Diller's tragic story made national headlines this year. Now, Jonathan was shot and killed by a career criminal during a traffic stop. Jonathan, who's just 31 years old, leaves behind his wife Stephanie and 1-year-old son Ryan. Now, nothing will ever replace the loss of a husband and a father, but the Tunnel to Towers Foundation was able to pay off the mortgage on the Diller family's home. Please commit to $11 a month. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Former President Trump made his comments critical of the federal hurricane response while campaigning in Michigan.
Tomorrow, he will be back in Butler, Pennsylvania, where he narrowly survived an assassination attempt 3 months ago. It will be his first time returning to the scene, and security plans are much different than they were on July 13th during that first assassination attempt. This time, the rally site will be locked down ahead of the event, and there will be a single command post for all law enforcement agencies working the rally. Tens of thousands of people are expected to attend, including Elon Musk. Brooke Singman, Fox News.
Today, Vice President Harris will campaign in Michigan. The day after getting an endorsement in Wisconsin from an anti-Trump Republican, former Congresswoman Liz Cheney.
I have never voted for a Democrat, but this year I am proudly casting my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris.
Cheney called the former president unfit to lead. He responded, telling Fox she's terrible, a stupid war hawk. In about a half hour, we'll get an update on the economy. The monthly report on unemployment and hiring expected to show about 150,000 jobs created in September.
Fed officials monitor the jobs numbers closely as they ponder the next move for monetary policy and interest rates. While inflation appears to be easing, the labor market has cooled, with job growth slowing over the past 3 months compared to the first 5 months of this year.
That's Fox's Hillary Barsky. On Wall Street before the report, stock futures are rising modestly. In the baseball playoffs, another team is out. The Brewers. Milwaukee was on the verge of advancing. Up 2-0 in the ninth inning with 1 out until this happened.
The pitch. Swing and a ball drilled. Right field. Frelick back. At the wall. Out of here!
Pete Alonso's home run gave New York the lead, and the Mets hung on for a 4-2 win on ESPN. On Thursday Night Football, Atlanta beat Tampa Bay 36-30 in overtime. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 8:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information. A man police say had multiple loaded guns, traditional and 3D printed, in his home, some without serial numbers, promised to do his best to never offend again at his sentencing Thursday in Herkimer County Court. Herkimer police were doing a welfare check on 27-year-old Wayne Brunner back in March when they found the cache of weapons. The question that will forever remain, what would he have done with them had police not found them? Originally charged with 16 counts, Brunner pled guilty August 1st to 1 count of third-degree criminal possession of a weapon, for which he was sentenced to 3 years in state prison. The investigation continues into what caused a fatal crash in Onondaga County. The collision happened yesterday in the area of South Bay Road and Whitting Road in Cicero and involved a motorcycle and vehicle. The motorcyclist, 67-year-old Stephen Bergwin, passed away at the scene. That's the 4th motorcycle fatality in this week in central New York. So far, no tickets have been issued to the driver, and witnesses are asked to contact the sheriff's department. A central New York community is sharing a portion of federal funds to help remove lead paint hazards from homes. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says Syracuse is getting over $7.7 million to help keep people safe. Schumer says no amount of toxic lead paint is safe for children, and lead poisoning is an irreversible and preventable tragedy. Exposure to lead-based paint can cause health issues such as learning disabilities, seizures, and hearing loss. Parents and guardians are being urged to protect babies in their care from the dangers of RSV. The respiratory virus can be harmful to children, but there is a vaccine available that'll protect kids for months. Pregnant women can also get themselves vaccinated before giving birth. RSV is spread through contact with droplets from the nose and throat of infected people. Symptoms include cough, sneezing, fever, decreased appetite, and wheezing. And vegetable breeders at Oregon State University have developed 2 new mild habanero peppers. It's taken 25 years to create the peppers that aren't like extremely hot habanero peppers. They're called Narahara and Mild Thing. They're described as having unique fruity and floral fragrances and flavors, but lower heat levels. The seeds are expected to be available at farmers markets next year, so home gardeners can grow them.
Do you like hot things? Hot.
I do, but they don't like me, if you catch my drift.
Fair enough. I do understand that.
Yep.
And I know this probably sounds terrible for everybody else, but I'm going to say it. After having, this is really interesting, and I've never looked up the science, but it's just logical to me. After having 11 inches of my colon removed.
Yes.
And I was asleep. I didn't even know they took it. I had no idea.
You took how many?
Yeah. How much?
How
did you
much?
Take? 11 inches? For what? I have a problem with, I used to be able to eat anything. And now, like cherry peppers, hot peppers, which I love.
Yeah.
And I love with greens. Oh, boy.
I remember.
It really, you know, when and you know what? I love greens so much that I'm like, I know this is going to hurt.
I'm gonna
kill me.
I'm gonna suffer through.
I'm gonna do it.
I remember one time when we used to, you, Jeff, and I would go hang out with our buddy Joe Morelli at his house. One time, his wife had made stuffed peppers.
Oh, they were so good.
It was like I remember having about like 6 or 7 of those babies.
So
and it was rough.
Those were the long hots, though. They were the stuffed cherry peppers.
Stuffed cherry peppers.
So, but I have at home habanero peppers that I had gotten from my parents that were grown, and they're beautiful colors. And it's a whole thing. It's almost like bananas, but they're tiny little. It's decorative. But let me tell you something. You cut one of these open and put it in a frying pan, and people in the house start coughing. These are the hottest peppers I have ever.
And you're growing them.
I'm not growing them. I have them.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And they hang. You can dry them. You can pick one and cook with it. But I'm telling you, I'm going to bring one in. I'd love you to try it.
Oh, my God.
David, do you like hot stuff? No. Would you try it if I brought it in?
Oh, I would try anything, yeah.
All right.
Well,
would you put it on your fingers and then rub your eyes?
Sure.
That'd be cool.
I like hot sauce and Tabasco sauce, but not that kind of stuff.
Not the habanero. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring next week. I'm going to bring one in and just let you try it.
I'll do it.
Teeny little bite.
If you have one.
No. Remember, I have colon thing going on.
Oh, right. Sure. Yeah. Blame it on that.
All right. Do you have a forecast? And
Before I give the forecast, you know what else is hot?
Is it sponsored?
It is, but
right.
what's hot is your chance at up to $30,000 in cash prizes. With Keeler's cash code, go to the trending bar at WIBX950.com or click Win Cash on our WIBX 950 mobile app. Your 8 a.m. code word is 669. 669. That number again, 669 into the WIBX 950 mobile app or WIBX950.com. Forecast brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit ClintonTractor.net. It's a nice one. Sunny skies today with a high in the mid-70s.
The whole weekend.
Yep.
It's going to be beautiful.
Little rain overnight, cloudy with a low around 50. Sunny tomorrow with a high near 70. Then a little bit of rain possible Sunday. Sunny otherwise with a high in the low 70s. Right now, 51 under cloudy skies at 8:11.
I had a beautiful weekend. Next week does not look so nice, so enjoy it this weekend. I had a whole plan to do it live. It was going to be a parody of the Meet the Mets, and it was going to be called Freakin' Mets. Freaking Mets. Every time I think they're going to win, they lose the Mets. But then
now
they
you don't have to do it.
stinking won and ruined that opportunity for me. Here is Andrew with sports.
It's brought to you by IBEW NECA 43, local contractors. Well, we'll start with football. The stinking God-blessed Falcons kicked off Week 5 with a thrilling 36-30 overtime takedown of the Bucs on Thursday Night Football. You heard it right here on WIBX 950. Davey was the only one to correctly pick that team to win in our Pick'em contest. The action continues with a dozen more games on Sunday. That includes the Vikings and Jets from London, the Texans, Bills, the Ravens and the Bengals, the Steelers and Cowboys, and several more. We'll have the big primetime games for you, as always, here on WIBX. The Chiefs will officially be without their leading receiver for at least the next 4 games. Kansas City placed second-year wideout Rashee Rice on injured reserve following the knee injury he suffered in the team's Week 4 win over the Chargers. The Giants could be without their star rookie this weekend. Wide receiver Malik Neighbors missed his second consecutive practice Thursday as he recovers from a concussion he suffered in last week's loss to the Cowboys. Neighbors has 2 more days to advance through the 5-phase protocol. New York is last in the NFC East at 1-3. To baseball, the Mets are still alive after rallying for a 4-2 win over the Brewers in Game 3 of the NL Wild Card at American Family Field. Trailing by a couple of runs entering the final frame, Pete Alonso launched a 3-run shot to give the Mets the lead. Edwin Diaz was credited with the win after striking out 3 batters over an inning and 2/3 of scoreless relief. David Peterson got the save. New York will now face the Phillies in the NLDS. Game 1 is tomorrow afternoon at Citizens Bank Park.
What time is that game?
I'm not sure.
Okay, tomorrow
in the afternoon. And the Yankees begin their quest for
4:35 is the game, and it's on FX. Fox.
Okay.
And we've got
Thank you,
Bob
Davey.
Costas
You're welcome.
and Ron Darling calling the Yankees, and
Brian Anderson will be doing the Cleveland Indians and the Detroit Tigers.
Who cares? Who cares? We're talking about the Yankees here. The Yankees and Royals will play from Yankee Stadium, and that's tomorrow evening.
I'm sorry, the first pitch for the Mets game, Bill, is at 4:10, and it's on Fox. I'm sorry, 4:10 tomorrow.
On Fox, the regular Fox.
Should be.
And the game on Sunday is also at 4:10. So right after Sunday afternoon football, Fox will have baseball.
All right.
I had somebody recently reach out to me and say, I've got some pain in my hand and my wrist, and I'm really going to try Revive Softwave Therapy. Dr. Tim Delmedico and his team, that's all they do now.
Can you stop talking for 1 second?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm trying to stop my... There, okay. Siri was taking your conversation and typing it, taping your words. I'm clear now. Go ahead.
She's always listening.
Well, I think she's got some pain, this Siri.
Listen.
She needs Softwave.
Dr. Tim and his staff may be able to help Siri as well. If you're dealing with hand, wrist, neck, back, knee, arthritis, or even neuropathy pain, Dr. Tim Delmedico and his staff may be able to help. Dr. Tim has said, I believe in the Revive Softwave Therapy and the Softwave technology so much that I'm done with my chiropractic business. I'm solely focusing on Softwave. And not only does he have 3 other practices outside of the Utica area, he's a distributor of the technology to other practitioners so that people can take advantage of this excellent, game-changing technology. It was developed in Germany and is now in the States. It's an FDA-cleared, non-invasive, drug-free treatment for chronic pain, inflammation, and joint issues using high-speed sound waves. It sends those high-speed sound waves to the impacted area, which directs your body's natural stem cells and blood flow to promote natural healing. And we were talking about Comet season opening up soon. Our very own Rob Esch of the Utica Comets is a Revive Softwave Therapy patient. You can go to reviveutica.com and check out his testimonial. After years of being in the net at the goalie position, he has dealt with some injuries and some pain, and he is a believer in Softwave. I myself Had some dealings with Softwave. My foot and ankle were bothering me after a half marathon I probably had no business running. And after 6 treatments, my pain went from an 8 to a 0. You can find out for yourself what they're all about by calling 315-725-8427, 315-725-8427. Always at ReviveUtica.com. Let the healing begin with Revive Softwave Therapy at 2709 Genesee Street in Utica.
Maybe you want to do a little extracurricular activity when it comes to some sports betting this weekend. Scott in Kirkville is coming up in a second. He's going to give you some picks, and we'll give you his pick on how to handle Syracuse tonight. Syracuse plays tonight at 9 o'clock. That's a late game out in Vegas. And I actually know some people that went out there for that game. I do think they went out more for Vegas than they did for Syracuse, but they're out there, and they're going to the game. And we'll talk to Scott on that one coming up in a second. Ryan Schmelz, Representative Getz, to introduce a bill cutting off federal aid to groups helping illegals. He's a lovely guy, but it'll be interesting to see what his plan is here. Ryan Schmelz, who's a Baltimore Orioles fan.
Ryan
Schmelz coming up in a little bit as well. So stand by. We have jam-packed action here in the 8 o'clock hour and a beautiful weekend on the way. Scott's coming up next to WIBX.
By now, you've probably heard of Upside, the free app that gets you real cash back at gas stations. But Upside is so much more than just a gas app. Upside lets you earn cash back at more than 85,000 grocery stores, gas stations, and restaurants, including popular national chains and local favorites. Just download the free app, claim an offer, and get real cash back on your purchase. There are no complicated points or rebates. With Upside, you can earn up to $10 cash back every time you go to the grocery store or dine out. That's up to $10 right back in your pocket on every meal out and every grocery run. The best part? You can earn on top of your credit or debit card rewards. Download Upside today. Use promo code SNACK10 and get a 10% cashback bonus on your first purchase. Get the Upside app and use promo code SNACK10 for an extra 10% cashback bonus. That's promo code SNACK10. Offers vary by user and location. Terms and conditions apply. Go to upside.com for details.
At Mattress Express, we deliver quickly. If you've waited too long for your mattress to be delivered elsewhere, simply bring your receipt in. We will deliver the same or comparable mattress, and we will meet or beat the price and get it to you quickly. Come see us today.
Need new tires? Nokian Tires is celebrating 90 years of legendary Hakkapeliitta winter tires with a consumer rebate. Now through October 31st. When you buy 4 select winter, all-season, and all-weather tires, you can save up to $80 by mail on a MasterCard prepaid card. Offer expires October 31st, 2024. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit their stores and meet their team of experts, or schedule your appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
My name is Danielle Thazier. I'm a vascular surgeon at the Wynn Hospital. As a vascular surgeon, we work on the vascular system of the body, which includes the arteries and veins. People come to see vascular surgeons for a variety of reasons. We treat aneurysms, peripheral arterial disease, carotid disease. We also treat venous disease, varicose veins. We can do vein stripping, or we can do vein ablations where we go inside the vein and close the vein off. We can treat them minimally invasively. The Wynn offers us a great opportunity to do that because we have state-of-the-art hybrid operating rooms. That means we can operate in the traditional sense as well as do the endovascular procedures, which means that we're using the catheters and the wires and the stents in the same setting as doing open vascular surgery. Minimally invasive vascular surgery often is a day procedure. Patients come in the same day as they go home, and they go home feeling much better than they came in.
October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. As the leader in identity theft protection, LifeLock reminds you to update your passwords. Using the same password across multiple accounts makes you vulnerable to cyber criminals. Updating your passwords is only one way to help protect yourself. For comprehensive identity theft protection, you need LifeLock. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information, but also fixes issues that arise. Start protecting your identity today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
I want to bring in Scott here. Scott in Kirkville I'm just here to tell you, is a betting genius. Davey comes in. I'm telling you, Davey keeps coming in and saying, you're not going to believe this. He won big again yesterday. Every time Davey walks in the door. Boom. Forget comedy, man.
Yeah, stick
You're
to the
going
betting.
nowhere with comedy. But in betting, you are a genius.
Don't bet on yourself.
Listen. Okay, I want to go through I want to tell you, on June 15th, 2024, this was after the Mets started to turn things around. They were playing good, and they might have had like an 11-game win streak or something. They were in the verge of winning for the first time. Still way back, way back. I mean, it was terrible. You knew that they were going nowhere, but maybe they were. Back on June 15th, Scott, the odds of the Mets to win the World Series would have been 20,000 plus 20,000. So a $100 bet would pay $20,000 if the Mets win the World Series. That was June 15th. Today, the odds of the Mets winning the series, if you put a $100 bet down, you win $1,200.
Wow.
On June 15th, it was 20,000. By the way, the odds of the Yankees to win the World Series, they are the favorite, plus 325. So this is an interesting run this hottest team in baseball is having right now. That's my pause for you to talk, Scott.
You've left him speechless.
See what do you think of that?
Bill, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now. I got you.
Okay, I didn't hear the click. Well, I hate to see what it was the odds when they're down 2-0 in the top of the ninth.
I know.
A little more than 1,200.
You're right.
Well, Bill knows that all too well.
Yeah, you're right. Listen, I fell asleep. I didn't see it. I had to go back.
You fell asleep?
I fell asleep during the commercial break at the end of the eighth inning. I fell asleep.
It was just a dream. It was a dream
it
season
felt like
they
it.
lost.
I woke up and I'm like, what is Pete Alonso? Why are they high-fiving Pete Alonso? Like, oh, my God, he must have hit a solo shot. And then I realized the Mets had taken the lead, and then it was 4-2. And then they win the game. I had to go back and rewind it just to see what happened. That was quite exciting.
That was actually up until then a snooze fest. That's the interesting thing about baseball. You know,
I know.
The Mets, they haven't scored in 15 straight innings, and look, and they're actually the one quick thing I don't understand, and you guys are more baseball fanatics than I am. Why do they have champagne after each round?
They never used to.
One round.
They never used to.
The wild card celebrates as much as winning the division. They have champagne. If they beat Philadelphia, there's going to be another champagne.
Well,
they just need to drink before every game. They're going to have to do it.
So I do understand. I do understand winning your division, right?
Exactly.
I do understand that, but they're getting into the playoffs. You got to give the Mets some. I complained about this the other day. You do have to give the Mets a little slack, considering they were how many games below 500? How many games out? No one thought that they were ever going to get there.
Right.
This is one of the greatest comebacks in baseball history.
It is.
Up to this point. So, all right, I'll give it to them. But every team does. They all celebrate.
I know. No.
It's unbelievable.
You're right. I'm not talking about the Mets.
Yeah, I know. I think it's stupid.
To me, whatever sporting event, like in football, somebody beats somebody in the first round, that's it. Until you win the Super Bowl or the conference championship, I don't know what you're celebrating.
It was funny because you could see the photos of the Braves and Mets players together. Celebrating with champagne because they had both made.
Well, it's almost like Tiger Woods, like popping the cork and just going nuts
because he won the
celebrating
first day.
because he made the cut. He made the cut. Right, on Friday.
Right.
And a lot of people at the Point Place are celebrating too. That's basically how you bet Tiger now. does he make the cut?
Does
or
he
not?
make the cut? Yeah.
But hey, by the way, Andrew, brave person. Not too many people fly into a hurricane in Fort Myers where everybody's flying out. So, the real estate Mongo, I tell you, that was amazing bravery for you. So,
well, listen,
I love you. I'm glad you got back.
It's for the benefit of the bride. That's just all there is to
He
it.
does what he's told.
Yeah, and I also picked up my first endorsement as presidential candidate. The Yellow Brick Sportsbook Tellers, Joe and the gang are backing me. So
okay.
My
Like
goal is to get more. My goal is to get more votes than Howard Potter did when he was running for the school board. That's my goal right now.
That actually was a little funny.
Yeah,
that was kind of funny.
Zing zap.
Yeah, and but I gotta give him credit though. Is Howard Potter sequel Foil Again 2 is doing well at the box office. So I gotta give him credit.
All right. Let me. What do you think of Syracuse tonight?
I think well, the line. It's interesting where you can get the over under. You're talking about betting the game if you can find somebody outside the state or some websites or something. But it's been the highest 62, 63 right now. ESPN's got it at 57.5, which I think it's super low. I think both teams can move the ball down the court. McCord is the key. I think they're going to do what Holy Cross did. They're going to try stuff to run and blitz McCord as far as UNLV trying to beat Syracuse. The quarterback is interesting for UNLV because when I was watching against Houston to start the season, that was him and the other quarterback were even. It wasn't like what Syracuse is. McCord's A and everybody else is probably a C.
Yeah.
Both players are transferred. This guy is a 6-year veteran out of Campbell College, and of course the other quarterback came from Holy Cross. So they both came in. The starting quarterback last year that set records, the UNLV, transferred out. So therefore, these two were new and they were head to head. So there wasn't much of a difference. So it's not like a super backup coming in. He might have been the starter if the other one got to a bad start.
All right.
So
this is UNLV's where the kid was he said he was owed $100,000 and he quit. By the way, I'm looking at one out-of-state site that has the that has the over/under at 57.5.
That's right, and they were talking on the radio, and that was 64, and I couldn't find it. What I did already early in the week, thinking this thing was going to jump like a lizard, I took Syracuse the total itself, and I got it at 29. I think Syracuse is probably going to have to score 30 to win this game, and that's what I've been doing. I appreciate the kind words as far as being a genius. To me, if we gave out last week. I tried to find games before in-game betting, and we gave out the over in the Commanders Arizona, on your show last week, and I went over. It's a whole different betting situation now. It's like why do you bet a game if you can watch the game and see how the game is flowing?
Yeah.
And so I'm looking for games that I think are comfortable betting before, but for full transparency, unless I do a prop bet, I'm basically betting a lot of games in game.
Well, that's where you probably can. I'm assuming your payouts are much bigger if you're betting in game. Is that true?
Well, it depends who you like. You hope that the big favorite doesn't get off to a big start like Kansas City.
Right, you want them to be behind.
Kansas City was down 10-0 against the Chargers. Well, they were a 7-point favorite, which is a push. You could have got them -2.
Right. Okay.
So guess what? If you wait for a big favorite and hopefully you cross your fingers, they don't get off to a good start. You can get a lower rate.
All right.
And that's what I did. I bet it in game, got them -2. So everybody's pushing. If you waited, you know, when I used to write fortune cookies, patience is a virgin. That basically, if you wait long enough, and hopefully it breaks your way. If it doesn't, then you don't bet it. That's what the greatest thing about right now you can do now.
All right, throw some people. Give them a little nugget with the NFL. This weekend.
NFL picks.
First of all, Michigan State Kathy's game's tonight against Oregon. I think it's on the Fox channel. So if you're looking for it, Michigan State Kathy.
Okay.
Not really opinion on that game. They're a big underdog to Oregon. So I wouldn't touch that. There's a game tonight that it's TCU and Houston, and Houston hasn't scored against nobody. And the line's 16, but the over/under is only 50. And if you can bet the TCU team totals about 32, I think you can pencil in 5 touchdowns. TCU scores a lot of points. In fact, they beat up on Stanford the first game of the season, and they score a ton of points. So that's one game I like. Because you're a Bills fan. I thought the 47 was kind of low playing Texas. I'm not sure about Buffalo's defense, and I think Buffalo can score against anybody. So 47 in a perfect climate. I don't know if they're going to have the roof open or not, but you don't have to worry about any bad weather. So I like the over in that game. The Syracuse game, definitely like the over if you can't find Syracuse as a team total. But UNLV gave a lot of yards to Kansas, even though they beat them. I think they can move them out.
Does Syracuse win outright tonight, you think?
They're gonna. I think they definitely have a great shot.
Yeah.
I'm worried. It's the first road game.
Yeah.
And the thing I'm a little worried about is against Holy Cross, the offensive line really should have dominated more.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that UNLV is going to come after McCord, and I'm hoping he's Georgia Tech. When they came after him against Georgia Tech came after him. He picked up. The blitz was picked up. He knew exactly where to go, where the blitz was going. In the Stanford game, they had a little trouble until the fourth quarter. But I think they can. It's 60,000 seat arena. You said yourself, there's going to be a lot of SU fans down there.
Well, the problem you have is we don't know who the Syracuse team really is.
We'll find out tonight.
Tonight's going to be a big tell.
That loss was just
last week you can't look at last week's win. But they've got a decent competitor here. Let's see what they can do. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah. Well, the other game, I tell you, I've been hot with the Washington Commanders, and they're only 3.5. And you ride them until they stop. You might want to just bet the team total because they scored ironically between Cincinnati and Arizona on basically 14 straight. Drives, which this is the Washington Commanders, but they're not playing a great defense, a great team, and 3.5. We're going to find out if the bubble pops, but you ride them a little bit more.
Okay.
So look at Washington. By the way, the guys, they're leading the division. By the way, you know that, right?
Wow. Yeah.
They are, and they look really good. And there's been no answer for that young quarterback, Jaden Daniels. So.
All right.
Well, they're running the same style as the Ravens did when Jackson came in. What's their offense? The offensive coordinator was the one for it used to be the Arizona with Murray. So basically, they're running when Murray was hot, and they're running that same offense. And it'll take some time to get tape on them, but until they do have some good receivers, and so they can run it and pass it. So ride them until something happens.
Ride them until they throw you off. They buck you.
They throw you off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, Scott, win a lot of money this weekend. Enjoy.
And just remember one thing, guys. At first you don't succeed, you might want to give up hang gliding, okay?
Okay. All right. There he goes.
Oh, crickets. I hear crickets. Okay.
I hear something.
All right,
Scott. Thank you, man. Bye. Have a great day. Washington Mills, it's Tony's. Now, if you're using to get there, you don't know Tony's in Washington Mills, and you're using your GPS, it's Tony's in New Hartford, technically, on Oneida Street in New Hartford. They have, Davey, I'm just going to let you talk about this amazing Italian
you went yesterday, didn't
buffet.
No, I didn't go yesterday.
Davey's
I went last
there
week.
almost every day.
Okay.
They got chicken riggy, salad, pizza, chicken. It's
Steak,
great.
Pork tenderloin, Virginia ham, chicken cacciatore.
I might check it out today.
Every day it's different, and it is just an amazing, from pastas and salads, soups, and all of that. You can eat in, you can eat out, you can take it home. It could be what you enjoy for dinner time. Bring it home. $15.95 a person, $9.99 for children 5 to 10, and children under 5 are free. You can also order in, and they'll deliver right to your door. Especially if you're a workplace, you want to buy lunch for everybody or just for yourself. They have you covered. Call 315-737-9172. It is an Italian buffet like none other at Tony's Pizzeria in Washington Mills, 11 to 3 every weekday. All right. I can take this just quickly here.
Yes.
The question is, why are so many restaurants filing for bankruptcy?
I don't know. That's a
I
good
do not
question.
know.
You got to bring in
And,
Sharif for this.
Sharif Matthias is a restaurant industry expert and on the line right now. Sharif, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
What's going on in the restaurant business?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of competition and there's a lot of price inflation. So we've had 18 restaurant bankruptcies so far this year, which is the most since COVID. And obviously, we know what happened with COVID.
Yeah,
but this is a completely different set of issues.
Different. So what is happening? Is it you say there's just so much competition out there?
Well, there is a lot of competition, but it's also it's price, right? And so the price of everything has gone up. As you guys know, going to the grocery store, even going to restaurants, you see everything has gone up. Well, restaurateurs can only raise the price of their products so much, right, before guests go to McDonald's, right, versus to other sit-down restaurants. And so guests are trading down, right? They're saying, where can I get a meal for $10 versus 15 or 15 versus 20? And so you're seeing a lot of the casual dining, sit-down, restaurants that are unfortunately failing because they just can't make any more money.
So what's the answer?
Yeah, well,
there is no answer. It seems.
No, it's continued to be unique. I mean, you guys were just talking about an Italian restaurant that has great food, right? So if you've got great food, you got great service, you got a great experience, people will come. They will see the value in that, and that's the people that are doing well, right? So you'd say, how is Chili's surviving? Well, Chili's is growing because they've found their niche, right? They get a lot of food for a pretty good value, and people will come.
They want their baby back, baby back, baby back.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back.
That's exactly right.
Is that Chili's?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. They also put so much money into the flow, the atmosphere. I mean, there's a lot of research that goes in to one of these big chain sit-down restaurants.
That's absolutely right. And so, like I said, at the end of the day, you can't just have food, right? It's got to be the entire experience. You got to have great team members, right? That service has to be top-notch. And the ambiance, to your point, the experience, the look and feel of the restaurant, everything's got to click today for you to be successful.
Well, and you know what? You're getting a lot of unique new, what's the generation? What's the younger? Z, whatever the letters are. That younger, you're in your upper 20s, 30s, with a new style, a different style. You see a lot of these type restaurants opening up in towns around the country.
You do, and that's why really the rise of some of the what we call fast casual, right? So it started with the Chipotles of the world, and now Cavas and the Suddenly Salads. So there's a lot of these kind of elevated fast food, right? That the younger generation can get great food, but at a cheap price. And then you also have these what we call entertainment places. So these are bigger places where you can go and do putt-putt golf while you eat, or pickleball while you eat. And so those are growing as well. And really, again, to get this kind of experience out there, that it's more than just food and beverage.
We have a longtime restaurant here that is now just gone up for sale.
Yeah, Cavallo's Restaurant, 75 years in business, and they are going up for sale. They're moving on from the.
And that's a very interesting
and it's
restaurant.
It's not the only. I mean, in the last month, I'd say several major local businesses have put their restaurants or businesses up for sale.
Well, on the Cavallo side, it's very interesting, and I'll just throw this at you, Sharif, and then I got a break. But it's very interesting because that was, everyone always said, and I believe this to be true, it was the highest grossing restaurant in the area, bar none, for decades.
Decades, yeah.
And all of a sudden, a new place came into that village. And they opened up just down the street. They had a different look, a different feel, a different vibe, same type of cuisine, a bar along with it, and they just took the business away. It's just shocking how one Jenny just has
kind of quickly
placed Cavallo's in a really tough place. So it is very interesting. Competition can be very, very tough. All right, interesting stuff, Sharif. Thank you for the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great day. A lot of new restaurants opening up here too.
Yeah, I like Sharif.
Your friend, the bistro.
Chris Le Bistro. Nice French restaurant. Just has a brand new fresh menu he's just put out already. So he's changing things. You got to keep it fresh. That's the key, I think.
Well, he's doing a French bistro style, which there's no other place like that around here. Okay, on the line right now, Mr. Orioles, Ryan Schmelz on the line. Good morning, Ryan Schmelz. Well, listen, what are you going to do?
Yeah, and it had to be a Kansas City team, too.
I know.
I have not
I know.
I have not brought up our friendship yet to Ryan Nobles because I think he's still bitter to me about the Bills-Ravens game.
We all are. This team, this Bills team that was going to go undefeated.
See how quickly he pivoted from the Orioles to the Ravens?
Well, I was texting with Ryan last night, and as you can imagine, because we're both Mets fans, what a night last night for New York. Yeah.
I will be pulling for the Mets the rest of the way. As you know, my logic is that I like the Mets because the Mets fans are the ones who chose not to be Yankees fans, even though the temptation was there.
That is very important. Yes.
Ryan.
I
think they should be rewarded.
You're absolutely right. They should be rewarded for the pain and suffering we go through year after year after year. But not only the incentive you have to become a Yankees fan, it's just automatically kind of given, but there's a pressure. There is an intimidation. There's almost a bullying. You're not a Yankees fan? I mean, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So I get it. Believe me, I do get it.
The thing that we all have to rally around is that piece of garbage, Patrick Mahomes, I just learned this yesterday, is part owner of the Royals.
Get out of here.
So he's full bore behind the Royals, and they have to lose because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like him at all.
Kermit the Frog.
All right. Well, enough of this. Okay. So Representative Getz is out there introducing a bill to cut off federal aid to groups helping illegals. What do we know about this?
Right. So I think probably some of the backstory is that there's been a lot of GOP backlash after there was reporting that came out that the Department of Homeland Security, which, oversees FEMA, that there was a fund in FEMA that was being spent on hundreds of millions of dollars towards, the migrant crisis and helping people who, were dealing with the humanitarian crisis down there. And it ticked some people off because he made those comments as, this reporting came out as DHS Secretary Mayorkas was asking for additional money for FEMA, saying that they're going to run out of money this hurricane season for their disaster relief fund. Now, it should be probably made clear that the disaster relief fund, specifically appropriated by Congress, specifically for disasters. The fund that they were using for the migrant crisis was a separate fund. So, that all ties in, but I think it still raised a lot of eyebrows from especially Republicans. So Gates has this bill that would cut off pretty much all funding for any organization or nonprofit that is using its money to aid illegal immigrants in if they're receiving federal grants.
So what would he would defund FEMA with this?
I don't think it would relate to anything. It wouldn't relate to anything that's government related.
I
so
see. Okay, this would be companies.
Yeah. And it looks like that based off this, a lot of the organizations that receive a lot of this money, a lot of them provide usually legal services to undocumented immigrants. So like if you're a DACA or if you've been in this country and your green card expired, your work visa expired, then, these organizations will sometimes help you in your case. But, technically at that point, you're in the country illegally.
All right, so we'll see where this all goes. Probably nowhere, right? This probably won't go anywhere through Congress at this point.
Likely, yeah.
Yeah, with the Senate. Okay, interesting. And ultimately, though, we really have to help these people, especially in the Carolinas and in Florida. This is. What are we? We're over. How many people have died? Over 200 people have died.
Yeah, it's
now.
unbelievable.
And it was interesting how it's the flooding that no one expected. This is very similar to what happened in New Orleans several years ago.
In a state, nobody expected
Nobody
it to
expected
happen
it to happen in North Carolina.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, you think about the Outer Banks. I've covered hurricanes in the Outer Banks before, and people there are seasoned, and also the infrastructure there is kind of seasoned for big storms. Maybe not to this level, but the Outer Banks isn't the part that we're talking about. We're talking about an area like Asheville, which is not really. I don't think they're used to getting hurricanes.
No.
And they have a very unique climate that just is not the type of climate that's built to withstand some of that, the type of pressure a storm like this does. And I mean, like, you're talking about more mountains. You're talking about lots of trees that can run off and kind of create mudslides. It's just it's a very unique situation that even the most experienced hurricane responders, a lot of this is just very new to them, I think.
So we have a city up here that was hit with the city of Rome, New York,
tornado.
Home of Woodstock.
They're not getting
if
anything
you remember.
from FEMA.
They're not getting anything from FEMA. They had a tornado hit. It is just unheard of to have a tornado, which was category
F2.
An F2 tornado caused upwards of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in damage in that city. To see a tornado go through a city is just so, and let alone in upstate New York. But they get no FEMA funding and the damage was severe. No FEMA funding because it doesn't reach
the level, the threshold of population or damage or whatever.
That is something that needs to change. But then you take a look at the slow-moving activity in North Carolina. It's terrible. It's inexcusable.
Yeah. You send that story to me. That's fascinating. We could probably look into that, but that's very interesting. And yes, I mean, this is the government that you see. There's so many different parameters that qualify for what's with FEMA funding, what doesn't. Obviously, I don't think we have to have much debate about the stuff that's going on in the Carolinas and Georgia and Florida because, I mean, that's clearly a natural disaster of epic proportions there. And
correct,
I believe President Biden has greenlit or approved a disaster declaration for multiple counties and in multiple states. And, I believe as of right now, the federal government's covering 6 months of debris cleanup in North Carolina, and they're doing about 3 months in the other states. And obviously that could change as they start to assess this.
Yeah.
But, this is going to be a big thing when Congress comes back is replenishing FEMA's disaster relief fund or providing some type of disaster aid. There's a push to bring lawmakers back by the senators who represent those states that have been the hardest hit. But as Chad Pergram was saying yesterday, it's just very unlikely that they do come back before October recess is over.
All right. Very interesting. And one final note.
Don't mess with a congressional vacation.
I just didn't think the Ravens were that good. And then we saw them the other night, and it's like, what is going on here?
Well, and that's what's okay. So like John Harbaugh's obviously a Hall of Fame coach, and he's got a Super Bowl ring, and he deserves a ton of credit, and he's clearly a great coach. But there's been a lot of questions about him over the last couple of years, especially when it comes to like how he coaches in games. And I think some of that concern is justifiable because there's so many games the Ravens play where I walk away from it, I'm like, we were definitely the better team on the field.
Yeah.
And we definitely outplayed the other team, but we just found a way to lose.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've just said that a lot over the last 3 to 4 years, and that's a big issue I have. And fortunately, that didn't happen in the Bills game, but it already happened twice this season.
Yeah, it has. I'm just hoping, as a Bills fan, that this is a wake-up call for Buffalo, and their defense isn't that bad, because it certainly did look that way the other night. Oh boy. All right, interesting stuff as always, Ryan. We appreciate the time. Go Mets.
Hey, go Mets. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. All right,
All
thank
right,
you.
bye, Ryan.
Okay. Ryan Smells with Fox News Radio. And we will send him that story. Send him our story on Rome and the FEMA funding. He's asking for that story. They'll cover that story nationally. It should get national coverage because, I would think that things should be looked at in an individual. The problem we do is we set these formulas in play. You got to reach a certain criteria in order to be considered, but we don't look at each individual situation. This was a tornado, highly uncommon for a tornado to hit a city, let alone a city in upstate New York. And the damage that was done is significant for this area. So it should be looked at differently as opposed to having some formula that is followed that ends up excluding a city like Rome, which is clearly in need of funding. And I would think that in terms of FEMA funds, we all pay taxes for this, that it is justified that they receive FEMA funding and some assistance.
You said it better than I could.
One would think. Please send in that story. We'll break quickly and then get out of here. Hold tight. Jake, stand by. And Stefan Rybicki on the line. You know he is a very big New York Mets fan. I have a feeling he's going to celebrate on air. And then whatever else. You want to talk about something? 315-736-0186 at WIBX.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
You want to recycle, but you're not sure what's recyclable, what goes in your weekly recycling bin, or what goes in the trash. Wheelock Disposal Service, your recycling experts, wants to give you some helpful tips in determining what waste goes where. You can recycle lightweight cardboard in your weekly recycling bin. Lightweight cardboard examples are tissue boxes, toilet and paper towel tubes, cereal, cookie, and pizza boxes. Before recycling, please remove all food. For more information, go to wheelockdisposal.com. Your recycling experts.
Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas is your authorized dealer for Artesian Spas. Made in America, made for you, and made to last. Artesian Spas are designed with your wellness in mind, and Tucker Backyard has many styles and designs displayed in their one-of-a-kind showroom. Come see for yourself and experience fully functional spas in their unique setting. Ben Tucker and his staff will be happy to assist with their interactive showroom, helping you pick out the right spa fitting both your needs and budget. Relax in your new spa this fall with Tucker Backyard and Artesian. While there, ask about the new line of fiberglass pools, built to last for years and never needing a liner. Beauty and complete durability more affordable than ever before. Add fun, comfort, wellness, and value to your home with Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas. Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas is your authorized dealer for Artesian Spas. 8086 Seneca Turnpike, 1 mile west of Big Apple Plaza. Online at tuckerbackyard.com.
We bring the fun to your backyard. The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for the past 52 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedsantique.com.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're gonna be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PHIL25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PHIL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PHIL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code PHIL25.
Need new tires? Nokian Tires is celebrating 90 years of legendary Hakkapeliitta winter tires with a consumer rebate. Now through October 31st. When you buy 4 select winter, all-season, and all-weather tires, you can save up to $80 by mail on a MasterCard prepaid card. Offer expires October 31st, 2024. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit their stores and meet their team of experts, or schedule your appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
Shop with confidence at Mattress Express with our brand name low price guarantee. When you buy a mattress at Mattress Express, if you see it advertised locally within 30 days of purchase, bring it to our attention. We simply refund the difference. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
All right. I got to move quickly. Portions of the program brought to you by New York Sash. How about their bathroom makeover sale is going on right now as we speak. You can get a bathroom makeover in just a couple of days. It's amazing. They're experts. These are craftsmen that will come into your home and bring you a brand new bathroom, literally. And it'll be done in just a couple of days. You don't have to wait a month to have your bathroom remodeled. Call them today. You can take a look at the products right over there in their showroom on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, or you can look online, but schedule an appointment. We've used New York Sash for a bathroom, but also for windows and doors. And we swear by them. Great people to work with. And their workers are craftsmen, and they do a tremendous job, I believe. Okay, I'm going to lightning round through this. I got just a few minutes here before we got to get out of here. Before we leave here for this wonderful weekend with nice weather. Mm-hmm. Jake in Utica, good morning.
Good morning, guys. I picked Tampa Bay, naturally.
Yep, me too.
From 1970, football question, quick. From 1970 to 1979, how many times did the Bills beat the Dolphins?
I believe once.
Zero.
I was going to
say zero, but you know.
Yeah.
Thought I'd add one in there.
All right, listen, guys. Have a great day.
Good one.
And,
listen.
Wait, one more. I gave Davey 2 questions. Did he tell you about them?
No, not yet. I'll check with him, though.
All right. Have a great weekend, guys.
All right, thank you. You too, Jake. Davey, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're not
holding
coming
out
through?
on us.
Holding out on us. Here's Carl. Hi, Carl. Good morning.
Well, hello, Bill.
Carl, his new nickname. All right, quickly, Stefan, what do you want to say?
Let's go Mets. Pete Alonso had the big hit, and he's a free agent to be. Hopefully he made his money's worth.
Well, what needs to happen for Pete Alonso right now is he needs to needs to spark a fire. And he needs to be the Mets' Reggie Jackson and Mr. October for the Mets is what he needs to be.
Cashman will probably pick him up and do something dumb like that.
We'll
need
let's
a
see what
first
happens.
baseman.
Listen, what I'm saying is he needs to perform and take the Mets through into the World Series. If he does, he stays in New York. He stays with the Mets, I believe. Okay, thank you, Stefan. Have a wonderful day. Steve Hauk. Steve, I've got a minute. We should talk more next week on this. You know about the formula they use, a lot about it for FEMA. Do I have you, Steve? Yes, no, maybe? Or did I lose him?
I don't know.
I think I lost him, Davey.
Well, I got you.
I got you back here. And
right, now we have 20 seconds.
I hate to say this.
Okay.
We're going to do this next week. I'll have Andrew book you for Monday. All right?
Sounds good.
Because we are out of time, and you know how. Yeah. Thank you. You know how that works. Go Mets. Thank you.
I heard it.
And for the record, we talk about this usually, and I get cut off when I'm saying it. But what happens, and I'm going to show you how it happens. My hands are in the air if you're watching on YouTube. Automation, it just takes over. It cuts my mics off, and it sends us into the ID. It's probably going to do it coming up here in a second.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome,
W295EI,
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
You're hired. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A lot more Americans heard that last month with a surge in jobs created, 254,000.
The estimate was 140,000. The unemployment rate dropped to 4.1%. We were looking for the rate to actually stay steady from last month at 4.2%.
That's Fox Business Network Cheryl Casoni. August hiring was also revised higher. Dock workers back on their jobs this morning at ports from Maine to Texas, ending a walkout.
Now, the strike, which lasted 3 days, was being closely watched by many because many feared it was creating huge economic headaches for both businesses and consumers. The deal reached last night will mean wage increases of more than 60% over the next 6 years.
Fox's Mark Meredith. The deal isn't done. They'll keep negotiating other contract issues. It's up to at least 220 people dead a week after Hurricane Helene first hit, and there are still more than 700,000 power outages, Florida to Virginia. Fox Weather's Jane Menard's been visiting flood-devastated areas in North Carolina.
Many locals, especially in these rural western North Carolina towns, growing frustrated with the slow response from state and federal resources, many saying it was their neighbors that helped them survive over the last several days.
President Biden and Vice President Harris are vowing full federal assistance. She got an endorsement in Wisconsin from an anti-Trump Republican, former Congresswoman Liz Cheney, calling the former president unfit to lead.
President Harris will be able to unite this nation.
Former President Trump reacted, telling Fox,
Liz Cheney is a stupid war hawk. All she wants to do is shoot missiles at people.
Tomorrow, he'll return to the scene of a crime.
He will be back in Butler, Pennsylvania, where he narrowly survived an assassination attempt. Security plans are much different than they were on July 13th. This time, the rally site will be locked down ahead of the event, and there will be a single command post for all law enforcement agencies.
Fox's Brooke Singman. America's listening to Fox News.
You know, the big wireless companies want you to overpay for data that you don't need, but you don't have to settle for that with Pure Talk. Well, you get to choose how much data that you actually want. And for $25 a month, you'll get unlimited talk, unlimited text. You're going to get mobile hotspot, 5 gigs of data. Go with Pure Talk, and you get to choose how much data you actually want. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, and if you do it now, you'll save an additional 50% off your first month from Pure Talk. Jerry Padgett, the second enlisted in the U.S. Navy and deployed multiple times to Iraq and Afghanistan until Jerry was catastrophically injured in an improvised explosive device blast. Now, Jerry received a new smart home thanks to our friends at the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Now, the home is in the foundation's Let Us Do Good Village. It's in Florida, and Jerry now lives more independently thanks to the specially adaptive technologies. Commit to $11 a month, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down.